Good evening and welcome to the October 2nd, 2025 meeting of the Town of Southampton Zoning Board of Appeals. This meeting is being held live and also via video conferencing in accordance with the Town Board's enactment of Local Law 14 of 2022. Our next meeting and those following also will be held here in person at Town Hall and will continue to allow for remote participation. So please check the town's website for updates and any new information. If you wish to view tonight's live meeting only and not participate, please do not join the Zoom meeting and instead go to the town's website for viewing access. With that, I'd like to ask you to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For those of you with us here tonight, in case of an emergency evacuation, please exit through the rear doors of this room to one of the staircases across the hall and continue downstairs and out the main entrance. Do not attempt to use the elevators during an emergency. In case of a medical emergency, the automated external defibrillator and first aid kit are both located in the hallway on this floor opposite the elevator, and restrooms are located across the hall. We'll begin this meeting with public hearings. We have applicants and members of the public here with us live and also standing by via Zoom webinar, which is being moderated by CTV. CTV will mute the speakers on Zoom until it's their time to give testimony before the board. Please be patient. If you find you're having difficulty accessing the hearings, visit the town clerk's meeting portal and click on the instructions link. Also, for those of you in this boardroom, please silence your cell phones and refrain from speaking to one another, as it interferes with the recording of our proceedings. Tonight, Board Member Helen Burgess is participating via Zoom. A reminder that applicants, agents, and members of the public speaking, other than attorneys, will be sworn in, will state their address for the record, and will offer their testimony as it relates to the application before the board. In order to consider properly every application before us tonight, individuals commenting on a particular application will have a time limit of 3 minutes. I want to emphasize that we welcome comments, but must adhere to a reasonable time limit in order to accommodate all interested in speaking on any application this evening. Also, before handing in any submissions to the board tonight, please make sure the documents identify the ZBA application name and tax map number. The application should also be written on your certified receipts. Unless otherwise stated, at the end of an individual application hearing, all applications will remain open for written comments for all purposes until a set date. Those written comments can be addressed to the members of the board and sent via email, mail, and/or dropped off at Town Hall to the board secretary, Candace Cowell, in the building department. At this time, I'd like a motion to approve the meetings of our September 18th, 2025 meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Mastoni.
Aye.
Mr. Redden.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. John, would you take us through the agenda, please?
Certainly. Number 2 on the agenda, we're going to re-advertise application of Malcolm Merrick, 385 Oak Avenue, Flanders, Suffolk County Tax Map number 900-166-1-22.5. We're going to re-advertise the hearing on this application for October 16th.
No, we don't
No,
need
we
to
don't vote on that.
It's a re-add.
Number 8 on the agenda, the application of Aria T LLC, 292 West Montauk Highway, Hampton Bays, Suffolk County Tax Map number 900-253-1-25. I move to adjourn the hearing on this application to December 4th.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Mastoni.
Aye.
Mr. Redden.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Number 9 on the agenda, the application of John T. Montecalvo, 1129, 1089, and 1169 Spionk Riverhead Road, Remsenburg, Spionk, Suffolk County Map tax map numbers 900-301-2-6, 7, and 8. I move to adjourn the hearing on this application to February 5th, 2026.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. King.
Aye.
Mr. Mastonio.
Aye.
Mr. Redmond.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Number 10 on the agenda, the application of RJS Real Properties LLC, 93 East Montauk Highway, Hampton Bays, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-263-1-32.4. I move to adjourn the hearing on this application to January 15, 2026.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. King.
Aye.
Mr. Mastonio.
Aye.
Mr. Redmond.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Number 11 on the agenda, application of Joseph Frederick Gaza and Blair Catherine Gaza, Scrub Property in Queog, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-359-1-22.1, 26.1, and 900-359-2-9.1 and 10.1. Where lead agency resolution is for SECRA is on for October 16th, with a hearing on this application on December 4, 2025.
All right, you move to adjourn to that, for the hearing.
Oh,
for
I'm
that
sorry.
day.
So I move to adjourn the hearing on the application to 12/4/2025.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. King.
Aye.
Mr. Mastonio.
Aye.
Mr. Redmond.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess. Chair votes aye.
Turning to the decision calendar, decision on the application of Matthew and Tracy Marafi, 79 Inlet Road West, Shinnecock Hills, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-176-1-6. I move to adjourn the decision on this application to October 16.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. King.
Aye.
Mr. Mastonio.
Aye.
Mr. Redmond.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
The decision in the application of Bart Carfarella, 17 Dock Road, Remsenburg, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-366-1-10. I move to adjourn the decision on this application to November 6th.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. King.
Aye.
Ms. Mastonio.
Aye.
Mr. Redmond.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Decision in the application of Jesse and Stephanie O'Neill, 3 Wayne Court, West Hampton, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-357-3-61. I move to adjourn the decision on the application to October 16.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. King.
Aye.
Mr. Mastonio.
Aye.
Mr. Redmond.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Decision in the application of Emily Brandt and Eric Petra, 24 Dock Road, Spiag, Remsenburg, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-366-1-7.4. I move to adjourn the decision on this application to October 16th.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Mastonio. Mr. Redmond.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Okay, and finally, in the decision in the application of Gerard Perino, I move to reopen the application for written submissions.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
It was an add-on.
Aye.
Mr. Redmond.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
And I move to close the hearing on the application of Gerard Perino for a decision later tonight.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Ms. Mastonio.
Aye.
Mr. Redmond.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Okay, turning to the top of the agenda, call number 3 on the agenda, application of Robert Fuhr and Judith Lang, 32A Penny Lane, Hampton Bays, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-323-2-31. Applicant requests relief from the following provisions of the Town Code for a new one-family dwelling, 330-115C continuance for total side yards from the existing 65.3 feet to 38.2 feet, and a rear yard setback from the existing 39.3 feet to 28.4 feet, and Section 330-76D, placement of accessory building structures and uses in all districts, and Section 330-83C yards for an elevated deck on the north side that is in a required side yard and rear deck in the required rear yard. In addition, applicant requests relief from Town Code Section 330-34, Business District's Table of Dimensional Regulations, for an accessory rear yard setback from 50 feet to 16.7 feet for a proposed shed on a non-conforming lot, and any other relief necessary.
Board has jurisdiction. Thank you.
Respond. You're being joined at the table? Okay. Are you an attorney?
No, I'm not.
Let me swear both of you in. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, please state your name and address.
Daphne Vaughn, Surfside Environmental Planning for Happy Acres Drive, Shirley.
Stuart Narofsky Architecture, 37-18 Northern Boulevard, Long Island City, New York. Stuart Narof Yes.
Daphne, you're going to start us off on this?
Yes.
Okay.
So the proposed project includes the demolition of an existing one-story, single-family residence. It's pre-existing non-conforming with an associated porch, deck, and a detached shed. We're also proposing to construct a new two-story residence with associated porches, decking, and a detached accessory building. So this property is located in RWB Resort Waterfront Business Zoning District and contains a bulkhead and fronts on Penny Pond. The lot is non-conforming at 15,697 square feet, where 40,000 square feet is required. The property takes access from Penny Lane through a right-of-way through the property to the east of this lot. And the lot is also located within a FEMA AE elevation 8 flood zone. So the property benefits from a pre-existing certificate of occupancy that was issued in June of 2001 for residence and decking that were both constructed prior to October 14th, 1957, as well as 2 ZBA variances. One was in April of 1959 for private road and lot width variance. The second one was much more recent, from March 17th, 2022. The decision number on that is D022029. That was provided with our application packet. I worked on that project back in 2022 with Ms. Lang and Mr. Foyer. So that project was for a similar scope of work. You'll see I handed you a chart that compares what we're asking for now versus what was asked for that variance, and I'll go through that later. So the owners purchased this property back in December of 2017. This is a commercially zoned lot that is further constrained, as I noted earlier, by the bulkheaded wetland on Penny Pond. The proposed new residence and accessory structures have received letters of non-jurisdiction from both the Town Conservation Department and the New York State DEC. The house is, and all construction is located 50 feet or more landward of the functional bulkhead of 100 linear feet or more.
Is the whole property bulkheaded?
Yes. So the 2022 project was for a new residence that never came to fruition. Life happens, and then after some time, they decided to redesign the project with Mr. Narofsky here, who is a longtime architect they've associated with for their other property elsewhere. So we took into account on the redesign the variances that were granted back in 2022, which included setback variances for both the principal and accessory structure, as well as some pyramid and some items as far as decking and an outdoor shower proposed within required side and rear yards. So the current design fully eliminates the need for any pyramid, and it relocates the residence in a more central location on the lot between the northern and southern property lines. So since this lot is commercially zoned, it makes it very difficult to comply with zoning. So the residence will be in keeping with the others in the surrounding area and will not have an adverse impact to the physical or environmental conditions of the neighborhood, as it was designed to be outside of wetland jurisdictions. and further from the northern and eastern lot lines from the prior proposal. So this is where my chart comes in handy. So you can see that back in 2022, we asked for total side yards of 52.7 feet, whereas the pre-existing was 65.3. We're currently requesting 38.2. So in lieu of the pyramid variance that we had requested a few years ago, the house is a bit wider, but it is more centrally located. We pulled it away from the northern lot line by 10.4 feet from the prior proposal. We are asking for a principal rear yard setback of 28.4 feet, where we were approved previously for 25.1 feet, which is 3.3 feet further away than we were originally allowed. The pre-existing is at 39.3 feet, sorry. Additionally, there's the detached accessory building that we were approved for 10 feet. It's a 120 square foot building. The building we're proposing right now is roughly the same size. We're asking it to be 16.7 feet from that eastern lot line. 50 feet is required. However, there is a shed there right now that's at 12.5 feet from that same lot line. So we're 6.7 feet further away from that neighboring lot line on the east side. We had asked for a deck and an outdoor shower within the minimum and total side yards back in 2022, and we're granted that. Right now, we're just asking for the decking to be on the northern and the eastern side of the residence. It's mainly for egress on the eastern side, because the house is elevated for FEMA purposes. So the new deck is on only one side yard versus both that we were previously approved. Again, we were granted 420 cubic feet of pyramid. We no longer need that at all. And a variance that I requested that Art Gerhauser didn't write up is 330-83A4 for an elevated patio of 12 inches or more in the required rear yard. I was granted that variance previously. We're still asking for something similar, so I'm not sure why he didn't add that to the write-up. However, I tried to call him today and I didn't get him. So, but that's something that I can work out with him for real. So the rest of my paper that I handed to you just shows, as I noted, that the lot area for RWB is 40,000 square feet. We are only at 15,697, so that's a shortage of more than half. It's 24,000 and change square feet less than the requirement for the zoning district. Lot coverage, we're allowed 20%. We're proposing only 15.3%. Lot width is supposed to be 150 and we're at 104. So we're constrained in width, we're constrained in area, we're constrained by wetlands. So these, as I said, when the design was done, we did what we could to make it work within the scope of the prior variance or make it better, as you can see from my chart. So, Stu, I'll let you, if you want to show some of your.
Yeah, if I may.
So the only thing that you're asking more relief for is the total side yards?
Yes.
Setback from the side yard, yeah.
It's the total on the side
Yes.
side yards,
Eliminated
yes.
the pyramid.
No pyramid.
As a matter of fact, just to exhibit that, this was a 3D diagram from the previous submission and our new one. So we basically took that corridor and moved things over and stepped the house.
Wish everybody did that for us.
Yeah, and in fact, the house.
What?
Wish everybody did that for us.
And in fact, the house is lower than the design of the previous house, height-wise. Just because architectural drawings sometimes are a little too technical, just to give you a visualization. This is the front entry area that Daphne was talking about with the entry deck that we have to step up onto because of the elevational height.
Something is making
requirement.
a rattly noise, I
Oh,
think.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just coming on the mic, that's why I just wanted to. Careful.
And then the view from the bulkhead. So you can see the side porch on the left side. This area here is their kitchen dining area, master bedroom, living space with the deck above here, and their son's room over here. And then there's one guest room behind that.
And because you centralize it, there's no pyramid at this point.
Correct. Correct. The other thing was the previous application was approximately 3,500 square feet, and we're 3,200 feet now.
Okay.
So
It's only
understanding, oh, I'm sorry.
Three bedrooms, right?
Three bedrooms, correct. So understanding what was previously approved and the parameters around it, as Daphne said, we really endeavored to kind of move things over, shrink things, and work a bit more of a sensitive house.
Could you show us what's meant by the proposed shed?
Yeah. You could, well, actually, you can't see it here, but yes, I'll show it to you here. The proposed shed replaces the existing shed because there's no cellar, very little storage in these homes.
Okay.
So.
The
this
gray
is
is
The
existing?
gray is the existing.
Do you have like a drawing or a,
It's on our drawings, it's just a small, squared off little architectural box out of the same shingles.
that's gonna be attached by
It's
the,
attached
by
by
the
the
deck.
entry deck, correct. Correct. So they step up onto the entry deck, they could bring their, whatever, water toys, whatever else they have, they could store it in there and then enter into the house.
Let me get that clarified. So the red you're showing there is the existing structure, not the structure
Correct.
approved
The red
in
is
March
the
of '22.
existing, the gray is the previously approved,
Oh,
and the
thank
green
you.
is the new.
Okay.
Nice.
Very nice.
Just to show you the scale of it. And I should note, as Daphne mentioned, I've worked for the Foyer family for many, many years. They're living in a home I designed for them about 12 years ago now, so I know them a long time. So part of this design is also the kind of aesthetic that they like. It's a bit more contemporary, but working with the shingles that we like to use out here that seem appropriate in the area.
Could I see that, your last panel?
Sure.
And on this side, it was hard to see at this distance. And whatever you gave us isn't as clear as that. Thank you.
Yeah, happy to submit this in a smaller format that we can submit to you.
Be helpful.
It
Ellen,
would.
this was your application. Do you have any specific questions about this? Helen?
Oh, yes, I have a concern about this. I'm not happy about the fact that in March 17, 2022, they received a variance, and it's only 3 years later. And that doesn't sit well with me. I think it's a large, I think it's a large house. I went to see it, the plans, and it's not that large a lot. I don't think it fits in, and I'm still concerned about the fact that it's such a recently given variance, that they're coming back for another variance. So I have concerns about that. I am not happy with this application. I don't know how the other members of the board feel about this application.
So Helen, if I may, the variance was granted for a totally different house, so we redesigned the house and made it better than the original.
That doesn't matter to me, Daphne. I know that. That you're not giving me any new information.
Well,
It's
I have to say that, I welcome the fact that you have made some, some changes to the original design. I mean, people change their mind. They decide to have a different kind of a house. And it's one thing to come back after having had a variance and ask for way more. It's another thing to come back with, scaling back in some meaningful ways. So I'm
So-
not of the same opinion, so.
May I hop in?
Yes, go ahead,
So
sure.
I share some of Helen's concerns about, and I appreciate this was a little hard, reading cold to sort of see the evolution of your thinking, which I appreciated. And I have, if the wings on the project were not as pronounced, I would probably feel better. So I'm still trying to process in what it, you know, what this proposal is, and you almost said it before, Daphne, you're basically trading side yard relief for pyramid forgiveness, in effect.
Well, we were granted side yard relief before as well.
Understood.
So theoretically, the house is a little bit skewed differently than it was previously.
But you're
It's
asking for more.
pulled only on the one
On the
thing.
total side yard.
Only on total, everything else we've lessened,
Everything else.
or is similar.
Well, then maybe it's an optical illusion in the way it presents on the map, but that's what I'm reacting to, so, but I'm processing, so.
I think the exhibit that I have, which we could submit for the board's review in a smaller format, where you see the different colors, simplified without all the rest of the zoning information on it, really shows the scale of the previous house, which was larger, and shows, again, it's a different configuration. We
Right.
have a U-shaped house. It's not a large rectangular box. The roofs are lower, you know, and it's not just orthogonally, you know, aligned with the bulkhead, you know. We purposely turned it for two reasons. One, to soften the view line from the neighbor to the north by turning it kind of behind those trees that are there, so it's not a straight line on the bulkhead. And it gives the clients a view sort of downward, you know, through the waterway. Also creates more privacy for them and the neighbors, the fact that they're living within the U and they're not living on porches, you know, in the back that are totally exposed.
I was here in 2022 when we originally, I like this design much better. Have no problem with it, so I'm okay.
Yeah, I just, two things. One, I appreciate both your presentations, sir, and Daphne, this is helpful to really understand what you got last time, what you want now, and what the increase or decrease is, so thank you for doing it that way. Is there any plan at all to do anything on top of the flat roof? Because sometimes we see people coming in and turning that into pyramid
But for the
relief without.
deck, but for the deck you have going out on the second floor,
Correct.
right?
I'm talking about
But that's
the,
the roof, not
Right,
the roof.
that's not the roof, I get it. Which clarify, we have an issue with this lately, so we want to be sure.
And that we purposely made a one-story living space so they could have a terrace up there. And it's surrounded by the rooms on the second floor. So if they're on that terrace, they're actually still private from the neighbors.
that's
But
not
it's
the
not on
rooftop.
top.
That's
It's
not
not
the
on top.
rooftop. In fact, the rooftop, even though it appears flat in the rendering, does have a forward pitch to it for drainage.
Drainage,
And
smart.
will not be an occupied
What will
roof.
it be covered with?
It'll be covered with either an EPDM or a liquid applied roofing material.
So
And is there any access to the roof?
No.
There was considerable comment from the neighbors in the last hearing. I don't know if they're here, and I'd be interested to hearing further what the community might have to say about it.
Absolutely, we always do that.
Yeah.
I will just note one more thing, that Stu was talking about the height of the house being lower. The actual height from the first floor to the roof is 21 feet, where I believe with the peak, it was much higher before. We're allowed to go to elevation 42, and we're going to elevation 32. So this house could be 10 feet higher, theoretically.
So it's going to be at 32 feet as opposed to the allowable 42.
Yes.
Okay.
And how high above grade, existing grade, roughly? I know it's,
32.
no, I mean, from the existing grade to the first floor.
21, she said. I think she said 21.
It's, we're at elevation 11. FEMA requires us to be at 8, so we're a few feet above.
Okay.
It's still meeting pyramid.
Did you hear from any of the neighbors?
Yes.
Okay, do you want to report on that? Or you want them to just speak?
Well, I spoke with Deb Piro, who is the neighbor to the north.
I'm here.
And yes, she's here, as well as Miss Soroka, who is to the east. Both of them commented last time. I dropped off a copy of the application to Ms. Piro's property Monday, because she didn't accept the mailing and then realized what it was and contacted my office.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I still provided it to her.
Okay, that's nice. All right, is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard on this application?
Yes, please.
If you wish to be heard, you must
Come
come
up
up
to the
and we have to
podium.
swear you in.
And Ms. Lang is also here, so.
She's welcome to come up as well. All right, just give me a second. Hi, are you an attorney?
No, I'm not.
Let me swear you in. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name and address.
My name is Deborah Pirro. The address is 30 Penny Lane.
Deborah. And we're going to try to keep our comments to,
Got
you
it.
know, short and
Okay. So, number one, I didn't refuse the delivery. It was delivered to a different address in Southampton. I reside at 30 Penny Lane, so Daphne was kind enough to drop off the packet yesterday
Okay.
to 30 Penny. I love the design of the house. I have no problem with it. I think it's great. I think my concerns are the square footage on the buildable lot space. I don't know, in looking at this, it looks large. I can't tell how many square foot the dwelling is. I heard a comment, maybe 3,200.
3,200.
Okay, so 3,200 on a 15,000 square foot lot. You know, I like that it's moved off the property line to the south a bit. That's great. However, it's moved all the way up to the flood line. So it's moved much closer to the water
To the water, okay.
than the original was. So I know I sound like a spoiled brat. It does obstruct my view. What, you know, I don't know if I have a leg to stand on. Again, it is an improvement to the neighborhood in a sense, but it's also, in my opinion, an overbuilt lot at this point. I mean, more than a third of this lot is wetlands. And now we have a house right up to the wetlands with all sorts of hardscape around it. That's my opinion. And yes, it may only be X number of feet high, but it's also coming off the existing grade by 11 feet. So it is significantly higher than what's there now. So maybe there's a happy medium. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Deborah. Is there anybody else who wishes to be heard?
Hi, my mom owns the house at
We gotta be on the
32.
mic.
Are you an attorney?
No,
Let me swear you in. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes.
Please state your name and address.
Ursula Soroka, 32 Penny Lane, Hampton Bays.
Ursula, just spell your last name for me. I know we met, but spell your last name for me.
Soroka.
Soroka. And it's URSA.
URSULA.
ULA. Okay. I can't remember. Thank you.
So we second everything that our neighbor said. We just have an issue with the setback in the back. In their backside, it's proposed to be at 29 feet, around 29 feet. Before that, it was even more, but we have a functional backyard, and we just feel like it's a little close to our property line. The formal setback is at 50. They're at 39. We'd be more comfortable at around 35 feet setback, given the much larger size of the house. And that's pretty much our concern there.
It looks like it's at 28.4, is that correct? The setback, the rear setback?
The
Yes.
proposed, yeah.
The proposed, the existing is around 40.
Right.
Is there any, you're talking about some vegetation back there, like arborvitae I see on here, on the.
Those
on
are
the survey?
existing.
Existing, so, would some kind of vegetation or, you know, add to
Screening.
your screening, you know, would add to, make it easier for you?
I'm concerned about the large size of the house, which brings more people in and out, more activity, more noise.
Yeah, but,
I mean, possibly we're trying to strike a healthy compromise here. We understand they're already at 39, and we're already approved for 22, which is super close. That's just something for you to consider.
okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you very much.
Can I leave my page with the notes?
Sure. Is there anybody else in the audience? Is there anyone on Zoom who wishes to be heard on this matter?
No one.
Ursula.
Is there anybody on Zoom who wishes to be heard?
Nobody.
Okay.
Chairman, may I
Yes, you
offer
may.
another exhibit?
Yes, you may.
Just to address, and I can move this around, just to address the sightline, like I said, we understood some of the concerns from the neighbor to the north.
Yeah.
So this is their house here. You could see the existing trees that exist here. It's pretty dense. And you could see, I mean, it's, you can see, we
Yeah.
tried to tilt the house away.
That they have a better sight line.
So that they have a better sight line. And again, so just
Not that
trying
that's
to
a
be as
consideration for us
sensitive as
anyway.
possible relative to the sight line, but they are pretty far away. And if you visit the site, you can see there's pretty dense foliage in here as it is. Certainly, if it'll help the case, we're willing to infill any additional planting in the rear yard or the side to help the case. And I would just like to address the square foot. You know, we didn't set out to just go under the square foot. My clients gave us a program of how many rooms they wanted. And that just developed into a nicely scaled space that worked out to the footage we have. As Daphne said, we have 3 bedrooms. The eating area is within the kitchen. There's no separate dining room. There's one living space. And there is a place for them to work at home, as most people do these days, a little sort of home studio space so they can spend more time out here and work remotely. I think in this day and age, given families and the nature of use, notwithstanding proportion to the site, I think around a 3,000, we're 3,200 square feet, I think a 3,000-ish square foot house is very appropriate for most families in this day and age. And as we said, the last application actually had a higher percentage of lot coverage, we're down to 15% at this point.
Okay, thank you very much. Any more questions from the board?
I do appreciate all the graphics report, it does help us
Yes,
a lot.
it does.
I wish everybody saw them.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good presentation.
Yes.
All right, Helen, this is yours.
Okay, we'll close the public hearing. We'll leave it open for written submissions till October 17th, with a decision on November 6th.
Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye?
Ms. Kane? Aye. Mr. Mastonio?
Aye.
Mr. Redmond?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, you're a lifesaver. Number 4 on the agenda, application of Jennifer Giannotti Venice, 62 Kyle Road, Hampton Bays, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-296-1-30. Applicant requests relief from the following provisions of the Town Code for proposed detached garage. 1, Section 330-6, General Regulations. That references Section 330-11, Residence Districts Table of Dimensional Regulations for an accessory distance from front lot line Wakeman Road from 50 feet to 26.45 feet, and an accessory distance from front lot line Kyle Road from 50 feet to 26.33 feet. And 2, Section 330-76D, placement of accessory building structures and uses in all districts, in Section 330-83C yards to allow the detached garage to be located within the required front yard for the principal building on a non-conforming lot, and any other relief necessary.
Board has jurisdiction.
Are you an attorney?
No.
Architect? Okay, let me swear you in. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name and address.
Todd O'Connell, architect, doing business at 1200 Veterans Highway, Hauppauge, New York, architect for Giannotti residence.
Okay, Todd, do you want to tell us about this application?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Members of the board, representing my client, this existing house is a slab-on-grade house. It's a corner lot. It's a substandard lot. And she loves to keep a car in the garage, and she has the need of storage. So with the way this lot is situated and with the layout of her existing house, the best way that we could figure to be able to keep our cars enclosed is to build a garage. So the question is where to build this garage, because no matter where we put it, it would require relief from this board. Currently, her driveway is on the east side of the property. That's where the cars currently sit, and a driveway, and
Kyle
that's...
Road?
I'm sorry?
Kyle Road?
Yes, off of Kyle Road. And we're proposing a detached garage right in the front yard. And it is a detached structure, and that's one of the reasons that we're here before you today, is for a detached accessory structure in the front yard. But once again, it is a corner property. And that's where the driveway currently is. On the side of the house is also all the utilities. We looked at the idea of attaching the garage to the house, but it would mean that we have to move all the utilities, which is a large expense, especially when you have a slab-on-grade home. And in addition to that, that's the bedroom side of the house where the windows are on the bedrooms, which would then have to be eliminated, and other options would have to be made on the existing house, which is not being touched, for additional windows themselves. So if we were to put the garage on the west side of the property, that's our yard. That's our only yard. That's where her kitchen is. That's where her kitchen access is for outdoor entertaining, and just, any yard space that she has. That's all that's left. So we felt it was, the best scenario to propose the two-car garage, on the corner of Kyle and Wakeman Road. So we understand that there requires some setback reliefs as well. The existing house is substandard, where 50 foot's required. The existing house sits at 26.2. The detached garage, we're going to maintain 26.3 to Kyle Road. So we're staying, for the most part, in line with the existing home. Along Wakeman, the property is slightly skewed, but on the back corner of that property is the garage will yield a setback of 26.45 feet. So we did take a look at the neighborhood to make sure if it matched the character of the neighborhood, and we came up with many homes that are actually some even closer to the street. Directly across the street, we have a property of which is only 23.7 feet, and that's directly across from her.
Does that have a garage or just the house?
That's the actual house.
Right.
All right, and it's only 23 feet from the property line as well. And it's actually even on both sides, it's even closer than what we have over here. So and just it seems like every corner house seems to be super close to the to the property lines in this particular neighborhood. And I did submit them. If the board would like to take a look, I did give some views of all these properties that we found that have much less setbacks to the property lines, and we could hand them up if you'd like.
Okay, did you?
Yes.
Candace?
Thank you. You didn't do anything.
So, in addition, to the pictures with the character of the neighborhood, I would like to say that the, where this garage is going, it's very screened. It has, I have a Google Earth view of here, and you can see this is the subject parcel, and the garage is kind of being tucked where these trees are, which you won't, you can't even see from the street. It's just kind of hard to view the garage from the street with all those trees there. And we're putting it where the driveway is now. So there's nothing where the driveway is now. There's no landscaping there. So it's quite vegetated already, which will, disguise where the garage is. And in this Google Earth view, you could even see some of the other homes, which again, I'll pass this around as well, where you'll be able to see that these other homes that are so much closer to the property line than the subject parcel as well. Kevin, you want to pass it along?
You don't have copies for everybody?
I don't, sorry, I should have done that.
You should submit some, yeah, submit it tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely, yes. So, again, this house doesn't have a basement, so storage is, a prime requirement. She's not in the house all the time. She does keep her car there on site, so she needs to protect it. She'd get robbed at one, car broken into at one point. So she really is just trying to make the home a little bit more appropriate to her needs for her and her family.
I'm sorry, which is the house we're
The
talking
one with the,
This?
right, and directly,
Okay.
right next to that one
Okay.
is where the garage would be going. And you can see the house right across the street and how close that house is to the property line. So,
Well, I think actually that that aerial view is deceiving. Those trees are very leggy,
Yeah, right.
and you can,
Yeah, it's
it's
not like
not
it's
properly
from the,
screened.
from the top to screen,
That's
but
that's a
not
canopy
this area.
screen, not a street screen.
Well, we'd be more than happy to put arborvitae's or, you know, whatever you'd like as far as, for any additional screening. That would not be an issue.
Is that your presentation? 'Cause-
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
thank
yes,
you, thank you.
Thank you.
So can you clarify, am I reading this right? Your client took ownership of the property this year, 2025? Or when did that
Probably,
happen?
about that, yes. She just took,
Roughly
the
any year?
exact date, but
No,
roughly,
no,
I know
I'm-
I've been involved in the project for about.
She's not
6
at it
months.
for 30 years is the question. Okay. So I live around the corner and I know the area well. I rode, you know, my kids walk there. We rode bikes together, walked the dog, did the whole thing. So, you know, the character of the neighborhood is, you know, 800 to 1,000 square foot ranches, sometimes with a garage. Most of the houses on Kyle Road don't have garages. Most of them are that size, you know, 800 to 1,000 square feet. Some do have garages. If they do, they have single car garages, not two-car garages. And some that do have two-car garages, only a few are high ranches on larger lots. And I understand the challenge you have here. You have barely a 10,000 square foot lot. And I get the limits of the physics that you're grappling with, I really do. I'm concerned that the two-car garage is overpowering for the lot, and it's half the size of the house. So I would feel a lot better that you would not really need as much relief from Wakeman Road if you had a single-car garage, which I think would fit better in the neighborhood than a two-car garage. And I get that, you know, you can't have a garage, it has to have a minimum width so you can put the car in, I understand that, and you could get maybe some storage still under that circumstance. I'd feel a lot better if you and your client could be more creative in working with that space than with the present proposal. I just think it's oversized.
Okay.
Is there an accessory structure issue here in terms of, you know, the size of an accessory structure versus the main residence? Katie?
I think usually the building department does say like a two-car garage is a typical accessory structure. I think they say like 24 by 24.
No, but don't they usually say like 25% of the size of?
Yes, but what I'm saying is it's kind of say de facto a two-car garage is accessory. Doesn't matter how small your house is.
Okay.
I mean, it's separate from what
So it's
Kevin's
not-
saying.
it's not, it wouldn't be an additional variance
Correct.
requirement.
Correct.
Well, let me also say, I mean, there's opportunities for more creativity here, which are, you could put a one-car garage on one side and a shed on the other, and the other side of the yard, without them impinging on your kitchen window and things like that. So I just think you need to be a little bit more creative that way, I had a real hard time finding a two-car garage on Kyle Road that looked like, I mean, I think it's just out of character with the community, and I think you can work more creatively to resolve it.
Okay.
One person's opinion.
Well taken.
I would agree with you, and I also think that placing it where it is being placed is out of character. I think it's all being jammed on one side. The other side of the lot has a lot more area.
And we all understand why, right? I mean, that's your yard, you're trying to protect, but you bought a 10,000 square foot lot.
Exactly,
Any way of
exactly.
attaching the garage to the house, or you can't?
We'd have to, you know, again, that's the side that where all the, if I attach it on the right side, there's no way to get out from the kitchen or any entertaining. If you attach it on the left side, that's where all the utilities are, and that's where the windows are for the bedrooms, you know, so it's,
If you moved it a little tighter to the building where the utilities are, not so tight that you gotta hop over the air
But you have
conditioner.
to have a minimum of 5 feet, isn't that correct?
Okay, but-
Something like
but-
that,
Yeah.
but whatever it is.
He strikes me as a creative enough person. So, you know, move it over a little bit, reduce the size of it, and if you need still storage, make a nice dollhouse on the other side.
you know, I would definitely address this with my client, but I definitely feel if we went with, you know, maybe a slightly oversized one car, maybe 15 feet, you know, and it's a normal.
Additional
What's that?
1.5 car garage.
Barely 1.5, but yeah.
Here might be something you could bear, you know, your aerial photo showed this nicely. If whatever you were putting there did not go past the front of the house, right around the corner, so that would be the house on Wakeman.
Right.
I think that would visually and sort of structurally, to anybody walking by, riding a bike, jogging, walking a baby in a stroller, would not go, who gave that thing an approval?
Right.
Well, I think you've gotten some interesting suggestions.
I mean, other houses like this down Kyle Road have carports. There's a
But
very
I think
small
she had
house further
an
down the-
issue with security,
Yeah.
which she seemed to indicate there was an
And
issue with
storage.
security and storage, yeah.
There's a slab on great houses, no
Well, what's the
basement.
issue with security? I live in that neighborhood. What's the issue with
She
security?
had
I'd love to hear
somebody
it.
stole into her car.
What?
Somebody broke into her car. She just mentioned,
Somebody broke into her car.
yeah. All right, so she's a little nervous about that.
She's only owned the house for a year and someone broke it. That's
Okay.
unfortunate.
And you do need building permits and the same things for carports as
Yeah,
well.
it would be the same variance.
Right, but what I'm saying is it would be more in keeping with the character of the community where we already have very small, 800, 700-foot houses with a carport. That is more in keeping with the community than putting in even a one-car garage on that
Do
size
those other
lot.
homes have basements? You
I
don't know.
don't think so, but I doubt it.
You don't know. All right, but, all right, so your main goal is storage and security.
Storage and a place to put the car.
Yeah, right. I think there've been some interesting suggestions that you might want to consider and come back. Is there anything else from the board? Is there anybody in the audience who wishes to be heard on this matter? Okay, Kevin, this is yours.
Okay, well,
Pardon me?
do you want
Oh, I'm
to?
so sorry.
oh,
Is there
sorry.
anybody on Zoom who wishes to be heard on this matter of 62 Kyle Road?
Do you need some time to take this back to your client?
Well, I mean, I would,
All right, I don't hear anybody, so,
okay.
okay. Okay, go ahead, Kevin.
I mean,
Ask your
You know, I
question.
definitely think we can work with, keeping it into a 1.5 car garage and not passing the neighbor on, behind with the same or more setback than what that current neighbor has. I have
Okay.
no objection to that.
So
need new
what I'm
plans.
getting at is you would need to
Provide us with
resubmit something,
A week?
No.
and then we would need to review it and be sure we were okay with it. So what do we want to do? Do we want to ask for a submission?
1016 or 1120?
Turn it.
And, okay.
We'll hold it open.
10:16, or, I don't know, I think that both,
1016, I think is too
11, probably
close.
11:20.
I would say
11:20.
12:04, because didn't she,
Yeah, 12:04.
you talked about not available 11:06 and probably not available 11:20.
Okay, so 12/4.
12:04?
Go for it.
And then just
All right, so,
speak to Candace
and-
when she'll need everything by.
Absolutely, yeah, I'll hand everything in to Candace, absolutely.
And the way we think we want to do it is, do we want to get the submission, confer with it? Or do we just want to take the submission and
No,
vote it
no,
up or
hold it
down?
open.
Hold on.
Hold it
You
open,
need to
okay.
hold it
I
open,
I just wanted to be sure I
You have
understand
to
where
see what
people.
he
We're gonna want
comes
to see
up
all the
with.
new plans and see how it lays out.
Your logic is irrefutable, I agree. So, all right, so let's hold it open, let's hold the hearing open. I move to hold this hearing open to 12/4 for submission and possible
Second.
consideration if needed.
Are there water issues there?
Okay,
Is that why?
Mr.
Is there
McDonald,
water issues? Like
Aye.
Sure why, it's just,
basement in the garage?
Mr. Leonard,
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. Redman.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Thank you very much.
your comments, I
Thank you.
appreciate you working with me.
Todd, was it just this one document, or was it two of these that you had? I didn't know if there was.
Two of them
Who's
that
got
were
'em?
running around, so.
I only got one.
Someone's got-
Yeah, someone has one with another application.
I passed them, so I don't know where they
I only
ended up.
have a two-sheeted,
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That's what I
You
have.
stole it.
Yeah,
I have
but
two
there was
sheets?
There weren't two copies, they
There
were,
were two.
they were separate.
Different.
Two different ones.
Yeah, they were two different, so.
wait a second, what do you?
The chair is up to mischief, my
Yes,
goodness.
she is.
Yeah, the two separate ones.
They're all attached, so it,
No, but
No,
I
no,
know that
they're
I had the
all-
other document. He had
It's,
two
it's a separate
documents.
document.
I don't have the separate
No,
document.
it has to go into the record.
All right, somebody take care of it. I don't know, I'm confused.
That's okay.
Have a good night,
All
everyone.
right,
Thank
very
you.
much. All right.
Okay, number 5 on the agenda, 13 RC LLC, 13 Ranch Court, Sagaponic, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-56-1-19.13. Applicant requests a determination that the subject parcel, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-056.00 -01.00-019.013 is held in single and separate ownership from all adjacent parcels and thus entitled to relief pursuant to 330-115D.
The board has jurisdiction.
Are you an attorney?
Yes, I am.
Could you please state your name and address?
My name is Alice Cooley of Matthews Curse Cooley and Turon. We have offices at 241 Panago Road in East Hampton.
Okay, thank you, Alice. Okay, so tell us about this application.
Okay, so at the outset, before I go into the details on the application, I do want to note that this application was debated amongst 2 building inspectors as to whether the applicant even needs this relief because of the board's previous decision on 15 Deer Ridge Trail in the matter of Donald McPherson that decided in 1999. These properties were created pursuant to a cluster subdivision map filed on January 31st, 1989. Pursuant to that map, though the lots were in a CR 80 zone at the time, they are subject to the dimensional regulations of the CR 40 zone. As such, the properties are conforming. This board held in McPherson that the intent of an official action to implement cluster zoning, cluster subdivision map, approved by the planning board and appropriately filed with the Suffolk County Clerk's Office overrides any subsequent upzonings. The zoning district imposed in the filed map for a cluster subdivision runs with the land to maintain the integrity of the planned subdivision. Here, there has been no further upzoning. It's still CR 80 as it was at the time of the subdivision. So the lots remain conforming, and the town still enjoys the benefit of the open space of the cluster subdivision. And the property owner should be able to enjoy the benefit of the reduced lot size afforded thereby. This property is 40,107 square feet in size. It's owned by and is, it is vacant except for a pool, which serves the adjoining property at 11 Ranch Court, which is permitted pursuant to the code 33076C.
Just to clarify that, it means you can't put a pool on a separate piece of property without a main residence, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay,
There is a
just wanted-
residence on the adjoining property.
Yes, but that one doesn't have a residence, so just want to clarify that for the board.
That's
Okay.
exactly right. This property is comparable in size to the surrounding parcels, both those created by the ranch subdivision along Ranch Court, as well as the nearby lots on Sag Road, as depicted on the current aerial from GIS, which has been provided to the board. Therefore, a single and separate determination is consistent with the character of the neighborhood and would have no adverse impact thereon. It does not material enhance the value or the utility of any other parcel, and on the ground, it would be viewed as a separate parcel. Importantly, the subject property conforms to lot width requirements and has a means of access directly onto Ranch Court. A single and separate determination would not create any out-of-scale properties and would in fact be consistent with the other lots in the area and serves to reestablish the lot size. And to quote Member McDonald, no one would say who approved that. It looks just like all the other lots.
Oh, God.
It is substantially cleared because they were once part of a large tract of farmland which was subdivided as the John Zygmunt and Edmund Dombowski subdivision, which subdivided the surrounding lots, and then the ranch subdivision subdivided the subject ones. It's taxed separately, provided copies of the tax bills to the board. I do want to mention I was contacted by the owner of 15 Ranch Court, Jacques Geraldine. He said he had no objection. And I have more information about the permit history of the properties, if that's of interest to you, but I don't want to waste your time if you are not interested in that.
Okay, John, this is yours. Do you have any questions?
No, because I honestly don't know what other questions to ask.
Can I ask a question about access? You said that it has access on Ranch Court. What's the access for Lot 2?
Lot 2 has its own driveway. You're talking about
The second lot, yeah, the 11 or
11
whatever.
Ranch has its own,
It does have a different,
yes, and it does encroach onto the subject lot.
does it have
When
another
I
one
say-
other than that?
No, when I say it
So
has
it-
access, I
They
mean,
go like
it has
this.
the ability to do a curb cut if it were to be further improved, and it's directly on Ranch Court. That's what I
Okay,
mean when I say
okay.
that.
Well, normally when we look at, we look at intent to merge, crossover uses, which clearly this was crossover use. But as I understand it from our planning advisor, that when you create a cluster map, that there is no that it
Yeah, I mean, I think the
follows.
ZBA spelled it out nicely. The
Yes.
previous, that could be more articulate.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, they don't merge. They're just because we've set a zoning consistent with the lot size forever.
So what exactly are you here for then?
Well, I don't know what happened, you know, I
I
leave
want
that.
it official.
I think that's fair.
Okay.
I think that's fair. I mean, let's make it official. And, we've been advised by
Okay.
planning that that
Wanna be
clearly is
sure
the case
we're
with
all spending
cluster,
our time wisely.
cluster lots. And anything else that you have?
No, because it's
Yeah, it
basically
looks pretty
legal.
clear.
So you just want,
Yeah, and just so the board knows, when we put in the provisions for those accessory structures on adjoining lots, there are provisions. So if they sell the lot, the pool has to come out.
Right, no.
Or they gotta put a house there. So there were things built in there to
They're
address.
also only available to conforming lots.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
lot
I
conforms.
was actually instrumental in the adoption of that law.
No, there you go.
You don't want to say too much about that. Okay. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard on this matter? Is there anybody on Zoom who wishes to be heard on this matter?
No one.
Okay, this is John's. Go
John,
ahead,
yep.
John.
So we're gonna close this hearing for written submissions for 12,
No, 10.
10/17
10.
with a decision on?
on 11/6.
Second.
Mr. Redhand.
Yes, aye.
Mr. Leonard. Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonio.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess. Chair votes aye. Thank you, Alice.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Number 6 on the agenda, the application of Joseph and Janine Federico, 11 Collingswood Drive, Sag Harbor, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-26-4-2. Applicant requests relief from the following provisions of the Town Code for a proposed accessory apartment. 1, Section 330-11.2F, special standards for lot area from 20,000 square feet to 18,172 square feet, and Section 330-11.2G1, minimum and maximum sizes to allow the accessory apartment to be 360 square feet, where 400 square feet is required, and any other relief necessary for consent.
Board has jurisdiction.
No, you just
You
accept
can
it.
sit down and get your sworn in.
It's not that formal.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please state your name and address.
Collingswood Drive, Sag Harbor, New York.
Okay, Janine, do you want to tell us about this application?
I don't know where to start. You've probably all read in my packet my sad tale of woe. I constructed an apartment. I followed all the channels, the building permit, the inspection, I got all my COCs. I did not get the certificate of occupancy because at that point I was told that my lot, number 1, was too small for an apartment, which I wish I had known that when I did my building permit initially. And number 2, I know I'm overcleared. So it was an issue of revegetation, which at that point, I had no more money left. So I did not follow through on going for the CO. So I am here asking for the variance for the constructed apartment. My son is a teacher in Montauk, and his rent was going to double from $1,500 to $3,000 a month, so we had a bit of a crisis. And we did the apartment, so I need a variance. I'm asking for the variance for the approval on the already constructed apartment. And I am also in the works with the land, with Prena in land to do the revegetation. We have the
The planning department.
planning department.
Okay.
Yes. So we're doing the plantings on the survey. I'm on the schedule for the 23rd for that, I believe.
Did you
So
give us,
basically, I'm
did you give us a
asking-
landscape plan? You did not?
No.
Okay, no, I'm just curious as to whether, we get some landscape plan to show that you're gonna revegetate.
Oh, I am.
Well, yeah, they're
No,
before
I
us
left-
now, so
Okay.
I left them home. That's another whole
It goes
packet.
before the planning board.
So
I've
that,
been
yeah,
there once, I'm on my.
I have a question about that. Do we need to, we don't need to approve the vegetation plan. That's not part of the relief that's being requested.
But it was obviously a concern of the building
Yes.
department, so that's why you're in front of the planning.
It all comes down to the development right that was assigned to me, which I didn't even know was assigned to me when I applied for my original building
I see you
permit.
submitted that, too.
Oh, yeah. So, anyway, yes, I'm in the process, working with Prena, we're mapping everything out. I go to that meeting on the 23rd of October with our final planting plans. So,
Okay.
I'm doing what I have to do.
Okay, that sounds good. Julie, this is yours.
Yeah, I mean, It's a little tricky. The relief is being requested for work that's already been done. I'm certainly not of a mind that I would like to see the apartment demolished to get you to a place where no relief is required. It sounds like you have a pretty sound argument for the relief. So I don't have a lot to ask about here unless I'm missing something, and I may be.
Sometimes we do ask for what would be the costs of demolishing an as-built. I mean, if you've got
It
what
cost
the,
me $85,000 to
Okay.
construct that apartment.
okay, so you
And
have,
it's
you have
not-
documentation for that.
It's not that I
Yeah.
did it behind closed doors. I
Mm, I
applied
know.
for the building permit. If they had told me at that point
Granted, right?
it was granted, all the work was inspected, I have all my COCs. If somebody had told me from day one that my apartment was, I'm doing it backwards.
Yeah.
If they had told me at that point that I was 2,000 square feet shy of a lot big enough to house an apartment, I would have been here first before I did what I did.
Okay, I
Right, and I
totally
think,
appreciate
I think
that.
also the fact that you're only 2,000 feet shy
Yeah.
of the lot size,
And
it
it's in my
really
basement. It's not
counts in
like
favor
I.
of your.
Neighbors don't even know
I
it's
Changing the
enlarged
footprint, you
of my
know.
home. It's-
Neighbors don't
I
even know it's
split
there.
my- No, my
Exactly.
neighbors know it's
I
there.
mean, you can't see it from outside.
Yeah.
So to me, it looks like you're about 90% on the area requirement, 90% on the size of the apartment versus the main dwelling area, so it looks to me to be a very minor request at this point, and anybody else have a comment?
No.
Yeah, I have no problem with
All right, and I'm sorry you had to go through all of this, but we're gonna have a nice planting plan.
I do have a beautiful planting plan.
Well, that's
And I
good.
need you all to know, you have a real gem in Candace.
it. Yes, we know.
She was
You know,
a
honestly,
tremendous help to
we
me.
have no idea.
She was a tremendous help
Yes,
to me.
she's amazing.
She always is.
We encourage everybody to write letters on our behalf to the supervisor.
Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard on 11 Collingswood Drive? Anybody on Zoom who wishes to be heard on this matter?
No one.
Okay, Julie, this is yours.
Okay, so we're going to close the public hearing. Keep it open for written submissions until October 17 with a decision scheduled for November 6th.
Second.
Ms. Kane?
Aye.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Mr. Redhand?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now,
Thank you.
I get notified after.
Yeah, you don't have to come to that.
You don't
meeting.
have to come, you can
just get
tune in
with
if you
Candace.
want,
You
but
can zoom in, watch the
Yeah, yeah.
decisions, or Candace will send it to you.
I thank you all.
Okay, thank you. Good luck.
Number 7 on the agenda, the application of Gary and Barbara Siegler, 271 Dune Road, Bridgehampton, Suffolk County Tax Map number 900-179-2-26.2. Oh, come on up, come on up.
Have I sworn you in before?
I would.
We didn't hear this yet?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
No.
Jurisdiction, and that was,
All right.
No, it was adjourned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we never heard it.
Yes.
no, it was new.
Oh, so I need to read the whole thing?
We've never heard this. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We opened it and adjourned
My
it.
Right.
my confusion.
Oh, okay.
Okay, are you an attorney?
Like, what the hell is going on?
Let me swear you in. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your name and address.
Gary Siegler, 271 Dune Road, Bridgehampton.
Okay, Gary, tell us about this application.
First of all, I could just say my background is that I've lived in Bridgehampton for 34 years on the same street, 27 years in the current residence that we're here to discuss now, so I've been there for a very long time. When the house was first built, the deck that we're discussing, there was a deck up there. So I have had the good fortune for the last 27 years to enjoy our home with my wife, who's been there the full time as well. And if you look on the survey, you'll see it's built kind of in the front corner of the property. And this deck that we're discussing, which is, I'd say it's a little bit longer than this table, or it's about 35 feet long by about 12 feet wide. So is in the far corner. The property itself is, over 2.5 acres, so it's a big property. So it's quite a distance, from the house to the platform. And that has been there, as I say, the entire time. It has never been discussed in any manner. In all that 25 years, I have a wonderful relationship with the neighbors, really the whole street, because I was on the street previously before this house, and have never had a problem with any neighbor. I don't think it's visible from the beach. I know it's not visible from the street. It's it's just flat to the ground. And because I am built at a time when the convention was to build smaller and a little further away from the beach, this is where my wife and I go to enjoy seeing the sea. So we don't see the sea from our kitchen or our living room or those places. So we walk up there. Our convention is to go up there and have a cup of coffee there, or to, occasionally, lie in the sun up there. And as I say, it's never been a problem for anyone. And I was, quite surprised that it suddenly, 25 years later, became an issue. And it has been a great joy and convenience. And now, unfortunately, at the end in December of last year, I had to have open heart surgery, so I had 2 faulty valves which had to be repaired. And now it's actually more than just a convenience, because it's quite a long hill to get up to there, and there's quite a long hill to get down to the beach. So it often serves for me as a nice spot to stop and rest for a few minutes, on my way up or down to the beach. So in the context, I'd say, of the street, the convention now seems to be to build very, very large homes and to build them very close to the coastal erosion hazard line. So ironically, we have been very satisfied to have just this little exposure to the beach. And so I'm asking, not on any technical basis, but just as neighbors and, and community members, that if I could keep this there, because even though it's very small in stature, it represents an important thing for my wife and I.
Kevin, this is yours. You want to start us off?
So, I visited the site, and I heard everything you said, and I certainly understand it. And, the conflict here is that there's a policy in the town and across most communities in coastal areas that structures on dunes prevent beach grass from growing, which stabilizes the dune. And when I went to the site back in April, the dune where the platform was at least 3 feet below the height of the dune around other areas that did not have a structure. And that's exactly the evidence for why the town code does not allow structures in the dune. As it relates to, how you want to get there, the town does grant elevated catwalks to walk over dunes, and you're not on the dune itself, you're above it. But there's just no permission for docks and, platforms and decks and things like that in dunes, and we can't grant a variance, at least I can't, grant a variance for that in an instance here, which would only induce other people to come and ask for the same type of relief. And, I know you don't want to hear this, but consider the possibility, it was there for a while, you got the enjoyment of it. I don't know what the trigger was where where it got caught, and it doesn't conform to any legitimate reason to issue a variance for the circumstance. So, I'm sorry I can't support this, and I hope you don't have to understand it or even like it, but that's my thinking on it, and maybe that of other board members as well.
Well, the only other thing that I would add is that as you walk which I have done, from Sagaponic all the way to Southampton, there are many other platforms. This is far not the only one. I'm sure I'm probably the longest standing resident to have a little platform there, so it's ironic that I should be the one that loses it. There are homes on our street that are literally 6 or 7 times the size of our home, and we have this, my wife and I have this one little patch to enjoy the beach. And I understand what you're saying, and I am appealing to you not on a technical basis, and I also understand what you're saying, that you don't want to say, hey, this guy can have it, but there's already many examples of platforms that are there. So to single out someone who has been there the longest and say, hey, you're the one who's going to suffer for no particular reason. There's no neighbor complaining, it's not visible. For if you visited, then you know that the platform is not visible. From the beach, it's not visible. From the street, it's not visible from anywhere.
Well, that's not the issue, sir, with all due respect. I mean, I understand, you know, what your main point is, but, and there may be large houses, but that's not the nature of this application. This is an application to put a structure in the form of a platform on a dune. And it's just, there's a reason it's not allowed, and the justification for a variance I can't get to.
Understood, I respect that. But I would say at the same time that there are many others. It's not by itself. And the irony of it is that the long-term result of this thinking is that at some point, someone will do what they've done with every other house, is they'll knock down a beautiful shingle style, you know, a house that was designed at a time when aesthetic and modesty was important. They'll tear it down and they'll build a gigantic modern house right up against the beach, which will be completely the opposite of what I think the goal of this board is, you know, so, and that will be regardless of me. I'm not saying I will do it because I'm too old and I don't have the health to do it, so it will be the next person who will do it, so
What was the trigger?
it's a complete mystery to me because.
Are you trying to get a CO? Are you trying to
No.
sell your house? I mean, is there a trigger? Is there a reason?
No, there is no trigger. I had at one point gone to get a permit, which I received, to elevate the house and to make some other changes to it. I'm not now, because of my health, going to do that. If I was gonna do that, I wouldn't have cared about not having the platform because I would have been able to see it from the elevated house. Now, I won't be able to do that. And to give you a little further history of this, the trigger, it was very strange because I got a ticket and I called the town and I explained just what I just explained. I explained there and they said, okay, we understand, we'll call you if there's an issue. And nothing happened for a year. It went away as an issue. I got another call the next year, another ticket the next year from the same inspector. I called the town again and I said, hey, we talked about this last year. I thought we'd resolved it. And they said, let me check into it. It went away again. The following year, the third time, I get another ticket. And this time it's a ticket that says, hey, you have to go to court. And then I went to the building department, and the reason there's been all of these delays is just getting an audience. You know, ultimately this became the repository of this discussion. It wasn't just with the building department. So I have no idea. It makes no sense to me whatsoever that after 25 years, suddenly this thing would become an issue for someone.
Well, you know, I have to say that we have on file, you know, very forceful letters from the Conservation Board, from the Chief Environmental Analyst, and from the Coastal Erosion Administrator, really asking us not to approve this. I mean, I think this is something that is way far away from the coastal erosion hazard line. I mean, as I look at it, it's significant. I also went to the property. Everything you say about it is true. I mean, it's well done, it's tasteful, it's not obstructions, but we're being asked to approve something that we really should not be approving. And I'm sorry that there are other people out there who are perhaps, in your opinion, violating, you know, the same code. I don't know that for a fact. And so I'm happy.
Also, those people are not before us, unfortunately.
But it
You
might be
are.
helpful to take a look. Why don't you, you know, like, look at their properties, look and see if they have variances, look if anything's been granted for that. I
You
mean,
know, go back and do some homework about, you know, trying to see if you can identify where they are and what their situation is. Again, sometimes people don't ask for a variance, they just go and build it, and it may be a violation that, you know.
Let me ask you, should I be hoping that when I do that research, that those other ones are permitted or that they're not permitted? Because I don't know which would speak more.
Well, if there was
to
variances granted for something similar, it would kind of.
But I've got to tell you that
Help your
I
argument.
have real trouble about approving this variance.
Even if there was one that was approved
Yeah, I
identical
do.
It
later.
depends when, and
Let's say it was
everything's looked at differently, but the factors are similar, it may have some impact on some of us.
It may have some impact, but I can't guarantee that it would, but it may, but, you know, I'm struggling with this
We
personally.
also don't want to give you an assignment or give you the
Yeah.
impression you're getting an assignment that you spend time doing
Yeah.
and it doesn't
Right.
matter. It's not going to matter for me.
Yeah, I'm not
Because
sure it's gonna matter to me.
there's just, I want to underscore this point, just so you understand this isn't a frivolous thing. It is a major policy in most coastal communities not to have structures on dunes. The town of Southampton, for the last 40 or 50 years, has increased the prohibition for things that can happen in dunes. Things you may see could have been put up 50, 60 years ago. We have no idea, right? I don't think anybody who's been around here remembers approving anything that looks like a deck or a platform in a dune. So it's a pretty rare request, and that's why it gets the reaction that it gets. So if I were you,
You know, we're very
I could add-
sympathetic to the fact that
yeah.
you've got a lovely house.
And you're a nice enough guy, that's not the issue,
But if
right?
I could add to that, in my opinion, you have to understand that I'm a hard no on this, unfortunately. I sympathize with your position, but I'm a hard no. And the fact of the matter is that we need to protect our dunes. We need to avoid coastal erosion or prevent it or try to prevent it. And the fact that you've had this on your property for some 25 to 30 years, as you say you have, doesn't really factor into the calculation for me, because in that same period of time, we have had an evolution of science with regard to coastal erosion, with regard to climate change, and the effects of increased storms. And so I think that we need to be led by the science and not by the sympathy of any one individual's situation with regard to this.
And I'm sorry to tell you, I agree with my colleagues. I do think it's an unfortunate circumstance, but I think the policy has to dictate here. It's just a higher.
And you have a lovely place. I mean, it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, well, my wife and I take a lot of pride.
And I understand that you can't see the ocean from your house, because I get that. But, you know, you've got a lovely place, and I think you've gotten the sense from this board that this is not going to necessarily be a winner for you.
Understood. Let me ask you, what is the proper protocol at this moment?
So generally, let's ask about anybody in the audience and anybody else who wants to come up, anybody else on the board who wants to speak.
I think it's pretty.
Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard on the Sigler property at, where are you, at?
271 Dune,
Two-
Bridgehampton.
271 Dune Road in Bridgehampton. Is there anybody on Zoom who wishes to be heard?
No one.
Okay, so Kevin, explain the protocol.
Sure, so, I mean, we could close the hearing,
Right.
wait for any additional comments that may come in, and we can render a decision. I think you're getting a sense of the disposition of most folks on the board. It wouldn't be favorable, but I don't know. And the alternative would be you might just go, you know what? I enjoyed 25 or 30 years with this, move on. And just deconstruct it, withdraw, that's another option.
In other words, withdraw the application and destroy the thing. So, but what I would say is that, what we do is we generally close the hearing. We leave it open for comments. If you have additional comments you wish to submit to us in writing, feel free, or anybody else. And then we'll render a decision in a month.
If I wanted to withdraw, that should be done at this moment, or that should be done through a?
No, you can do it through writing to Candace.
Okay.
There's a letter.
You could do it at a later date.
Send a letter or email it to me.
Okay, well, I will just close with this. I respect that you're all, trying to make people happy, but to do a good job with the regulations and to make the town as good as it can. I don't know what the answer is, but I can tell you it's heartfelt when I tell you I do feel that we end up sometimes with results that are counter to our goals, and we happen to be a couple, my wife and I, that are very respectful of the neighbors. We've never had a single dispute with the town or the neighbors or anyone, and we try to make everything be sensitive to the environment. in
Mr.
terms of-
Sigler, there is no question in my mind that that is the
We
case.
appreciate that.
Perfect
No,
gentleman.
none,
The problem becomes-
none whatsoever.
But in terms of your, what you've said as a potential outcome, I think you also have to keep in mind the fact that there are strict zoning rules with regard to wetland setbacks from the dunes and things of that nature, pyramid restrictions, which range in size for lot size. So there are things that will not necessarily let that parade of horribles occur.
I would suggest, John, that you take a drive down my street and you will, you will come away with a different conclusion.
No, I'm familiar with the street.
So, anyway, I do appreciate everything. I appreciate your
So-
considering it, taking the time, everyone, and I understand that
Thank
you
you,
have your
sir.
obligations.
So we will, why don't we do this? We'll close, I'm going to make a motion to close the hearing tonight, accepting comments until 10:16.
17.
I'm sorry, 15.
17.
Thank you, oh my God. With the decision on 11/6. And if you want to do anything in the interim regarding withdrawal or not, you have that time.
In all likelihood, so I don't give you an assignment that wastes your time, I will most likely withdraw, so expect that to be the outcome.
Just talk to Candace about it, and you guys can follow
Okay, let's
through.
vote on this. So, Mr. McDonald,
Motion made.
yes, and so.
John
how do you
seconded.
vote?
You have to vote now.
You have to vote.
So, sir, what is the motion?
To
So
close.
We're going to close the hearing, keep it open for written comments for 2 weeks with a decision on November 6th. Okay, so, Mr. McDonald,
Aye.
Mr. Leonard,
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Mastonia.
Aye.
Mr. Redpath.
Aye.
Chair votes, oh, Ms. Burgess.
Thank you, sir.
Ms. Burgess, aye, and chair votes aye. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
well.
sir.
Thanks for coming.
Thank
Have
you,
a
sir.
good night.
Have a good night, everyone.
We wish you all the best. Okay. Where are we going? Number 12 on the agenda is the application of Lynn Leahy, 15 Tarpon Road, East Quogue, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-362-4-8.
You Daphne? Candace has everything, right?
I sworn you in.
No, before?
Yeah,
Yes.
so then I don't need to swear you in again. Okay, let's just for the record state your names, please, for me again. Okay, ma'am.
Daphne Vaughn, Surfside Environmental Planning.
Michael Leahy, 15 Tarpon Road, East Quogue.
Okay, Daphne, this is a rehearing.
Yeah, so we're back because we were under the impression that this project was approvable in its last iteration, but we're told that the board may have some questions for further discussion. So we had submitted a letter on September 12th that basically went through where we started to where we ended. One of the things we noted in all of the hearings that we had was that we could not find any other variances for Pyramid and Shinnecock Shores, and we were all kind of scratching our heads on how that's possible. We found one that is only 2 years old, almost exactly, for 5,000 cubic feet of Pyramid for a brand-new house on Marlin Road. So we submitted a copy of that just now with the survey that was approved along with it. And it shows basically similar setbacks. Actually, it shows better setbacks than ours, but still required 5,000 cubic feet Pyramid. Our house is shown at about 10 feet on both sides. This one is at 11 and 15 feet. And was still granted 5,012 cubic feet of total Pyramid. I did submit a picture from the GIS of the original house on 25 Marlin and the new one that actually just received the CO recently. And then I show an aerial of the old house versus the new one. Basically, it coincides with the variance. So we wanted to submit that for the record, but the other thing that I wanted to submit is this aerial of the neighborhood. And you can see the Leahy's house is outlined in orange. If you look at all of the houses that are in this, and this is not the entire neighborhood, but it's a very good sampling, you can see that their house is probably the smallest or very close to the smallest in the neighborhood. And all of these other ones, including the two neighbors that came in to complain, their houses are significantly larger, albeit that they're one story. So I thought that was a good illustration. But, you know, just to reiterate, we started with a box over a box house that didn't have a lot of character, and we were asking for 5,000 cubic feet. Where is it? It's a 1,600 square foot footprint. We were asking for, where is it? Oh my goodness.
5122.
That's it. There it is. It's because I'm blocking it with my own hand. Ding dang it. So we were started at 5122. We took the board's advice and got a little creative, came back a second time and reduced it by 40% at that time to just under 3,000 cubic feet. And then came back again and reduced it down to 2550.8. Which is 1275.4 cubic feet on each side. That's just about a 50% reduction from our initial submission. The house was redesigned to have a little bit more character. It's more attractive than it was initially. We have the constraints of the waterfront. We have the constraints of it being a 75-foot wide lot. We have constraints of FEMA, where only, we're barely above the FEMA line. We started with a full-height garage under the house and reduced it to a 5-foot crawl or 6-foot crawl. It's not, I can stand in it, Mike probably can't. But there's.
What are the FEMA constraints again?
It's AE. I have to read my own letter. I think it's AE 8. And we're supposed to be, so AE 8 means the first floor is supposed to be at 10. I think we started at 14 and we broke it down so that it's like 11 or something like that. And we pinched the ceiling heights down. We pinched them down in the second floor as much as possible in a dormer style. With cathedral ceilings. We had the impression that the board was, or at least the majority of the board was seemingly okay with the project. So we asked to reopen it so that we could discuss any questions that, or concerns that you had. We showed pictures of the neighborhood.
Let me just cut to the chase. You didn't have 4 votes because there was previous discussions were still concerns of enough of the board. And, you know, that's the fundamental problem. It's, you may have one example for an entire, you know, multiple hundreds of houses is not a pattern. It's not a precedent. And, you know, I've talked enough about this. I still think it's too big and you're asking for too much. And some people in the neighborhood felt the same way. And I don't think that concern has gone away. And with all due respect, and I know you don't want to hear it necessarily, but, you know, our job is to do our job, which is to balance the benefits to a homeowner against the potential harm that comes to a community, and I am perfectly clear conscious about still objecting to the size and scale and impact of the project. So I'm done, but I wanted to give you the courtesy of that answer.
What's the total pyramid now?
It's 2550.
From the 5122.
How large is the house again? What's the square footage?
I have no problem with it.
1645.
So
That's the
1645,
footprint.
all right.
So the second floor is slightly smaller. And I will say that this house that was granted, the 5,000 cubic feet, was the same exact size.
Okay.
I appreciate reducing it down.
Yeah,
no problem.
I actually am not a negative vote on this, so
I think you did a
I
great
think,
job. I'm not negative
I
either.
also think
It
you
matches
did
the neighborhood, and I think it's
a
fine.
good job, and so, you know, I'm not the one who has to talk about this. I
Yeah.
know that some other
Good.
people have indicated some concerns, so let them.
Yeah, I'm happy to share my views. I think, I very much appreciate the amount of reduction in the relief requested. On the other hand, I still feel like 2550 is still a lot of relief. And I'm a little bit concerned, and I don't know whether you're doing this or not, so this isn't an accusation, but one of the trends I feel like I see is that people come in and ask for an enormous amount of relief and then come down, and I'm persuaded, oh, look at the concessions that have been made, but we're still at a lot of pyramid relief, and so that's where I'm getting a little bit hung up. And I will also say, I found concerns by the neighbors compelling.
What neighbors and what was the compelling?
So I don't know if folks are here tonight, and I'm not in a position to recite back what they had to say, but there were concerns from the neighbors, for sure.
So, last time we were here, we also discussed the windows, so their concern was that you'd be able to see in. Every single, 2 doors down is a brand new huge house. I know it's gotta be close to 3,000.
It's 19, number 19.
Number 19,
It's the new house
brand
next
new,
to one of the neighbors that
beautiful,
complained.
just built, windows everywhere. And I drove down, everybody's houses has windows, all the new houses have windows. I don't understand. It's like they're singling us out, and we're just
I mean,
trying
to be
to,
honest, the screening that we're
improve.
putting up is probably more than anyone in the neighborhood.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the problem, I hear you, and I take you at your word. I think the problem with the window argument is that it seems to me those folks didn't require relief, or they wouldn't have been able to do it, and had they landed here, there would have been questions about it. So I don't quite know what to say about that.
Right, and a problem that I have is that, you know, a lot of these lots are very much the same size. And yet you have come to us with one variance from 2 years ago, literally 2 years ago, October 19, 2023.
Yes.
2 years ago. And I don't feel like Mr. McDonald, I don't feel compelled by that variance. So it doesn't add up to me.
So are you saying we should build the house, like, don't raise the house, renovate it, do a brand-new house, new construction? No matter what we're doing, the house, it's just a matter of, do we have to decrease, what do you want? Because we keep going back and spending thousands of dollars. And I'm
Excuse me?
talking
I
thousands.
didn't know you were finished. I wanted to hear what your rest of you.
Oh, no, I was done. Your
Yeah.
wife
What I'm saying
jumped
is
in.
we're spending our architect keeps changing the plans, and I want to give you, what is it you want, so that we can do this, and I'm spending 2,500 every time. It's becoming insane. I just want to know what it is, so I can build it, and whatever you want me to be in, let me know.
Right, well, I mean, I think that you have to take into consideration, I think Daphne can help you through the process of understanding how this board is comprised and what the bent of the board has been in recent years with regard to runaway pyramid relief. And I think that this board has been very clear across many applications, across a number of years at this point, that we are reining in exorbitant requests for pyramid relief. And we're looking at all of these things very carefully at this point. And so it's not for us to tell you what the number should be. It's not as easy as that. It's understanding the mindset of this board as it is currently comprised and making and I agree with Ms. Kane that we see people coming in and asking for 8, 9,000, 12,000 cubic feet of relief, and then we're supposed to go, oh, you brought it down to 49, thank God. And it doesn't work that way.
I appreciate the reduction.
That's not what I'm trying to do.
No, can I just-
But I don't, you know, I don't cast aspersions on that at
I just
all.
want to say that I represent people for a good reason. I used to work here. I used to see people do exactly the same thing from the conservation board style. My style is to give you the best project that I can, and I work with my clients purposefully to try to give you the best possible project so that I don't want to be known as that person that gives you 10 and
I
comes
was
back
clear, I
with
didn't
5
say
and
that you're
goes,
that person. I
"Look at
want to
us."
be extreme.
And I just want to also add, from my perspective, this is not an exorbitant
Correct.
amount of pyramid relief being requested.
I've been sitting here for years, the number seems to, with this present board, getting less and less and less.
Yes.
2 years ago, this would not have been an issue, so I'm not singling any members out, but the number.
That's
in
a different
people's
board.
minds seems to be going less and less and
Although
less.
that's
I have no
not
problem
you,
with
the
it. I
one
know.
who was so, it's approved. You said, this looks great, I'm approving it.
Well, you know, and then I looked at it again, but you know what? I looked at it again, and I have issues with it. You know, Daphne sat here and said, and gave us pictures of all these different houses, and that said, I have no idea how they didn't need any relief. And I was talking to Mr. McDonald, and I said to myself, but wait a minute. So that's the evidence that I'm supposed to go on, pictures, and I don't know how there was no relief requested? Well, if there was no relief requested, that means there was no relief needed. And so, and that is part of the calculation. So, you know, I understand that this is not a position that you necessarily want to be in, but notwithstanding that, we're here. And so I think it would make sense, and I would have liked for this application to go a different way tonight. I would have liked that when you saw that that we reopened, that you would have said, okay, maybe we need to look at some of these things because we know what the board wants. We know what the issues are. You know the issue is pyramid relief. You just know it. So I would have liked to have seen something else.
Cut it in half.
I disagree with him. I don't think you have an
That
idea.
amount of time, I didn't have time to
Disagree with
get
me
my
all you
plans
want.
completely
Cut it in half. I appreciate it was cut in half. Okay? We're
And
not-
may I say something, Susan?
Of course,
Yes,
Helen.
go ahead, Helen.
I'd like to add my agreement with Mr. McDonald and Mr. Leonard and Julie. So I am the fourth person on this board who is not in agreement with you, Daphne.
I will say, I watched all of the meetings over again and was kind of scratching my head as to what the issue was, because I really felt that we did our diligence to try to make this as benefit the owner, which this is an extreme benefit to the owner, because they're living, it's not just them in their house, they have their children with them as well. So it's a small house that they have right now, and that's why I wanted to show you the aerial, to say their little house versus all of these others who have all changed largely in the past 25
What is the
years.
square footage of the house right now?
890.
Okay, and what you're putting in has a footprint of 1,600. And it's two-story.
And that's
So you're putting in
to the neighborhood.
Right.
Nobody else has nobody else has asked for the pyramid relief that you have.
Exactly.
And we consistently have asked, and nobody has.
There's one.
Correct, and I think the discussion that we're having, I think it's wrong-footed. I think the discussion isn't to sit here and wonder why it is that the board is doing what it's doing,
Yeah, I
but then
agree with
thinking
that.
of how to get over the hump of what the board is saying.
Okay,
That-
so-
No, it's for you to do.
Yeah,
It's
let-
not for us to tell you what you should apply to us with.
Let me say what John is saying a little differently. In moments of difficulty, we have a tendency to just repeat what we think is what we're due, rather than listening to understand what is behind the concern. I think, to the point of even annoying myself, I've been as clear as I could at every meeting you've been at. And I'm having a hard time believing people don't understand what the concern is. So, you know, please.
And you've been clear, and I will agree that I have dissembled, or not dissembled, I don't want to use that word. I have been ambivalent, so to speak, and I understand that that causes confusion, but we have to get over the confusion, and we have to put our nose to the grindstone and figure out, the board is saying there's too much pyramid relief, how will you fix that? That's all that you need to do.
Right, which I can fix again. My point is every time we come, the last meeting, when I left, I thought we were pretty good at stuff.
Yes, we understand that, but
Michael, I agree, and I think that there was confusion, and, you know, and that is on our board for having given you, you know, kind of a, you know, a false
We
expectation.
would not have agreed to close the hearing.
I acknowledge that, and I apologize for that, but this is where we
And that's on the
are.
board, and, you know, and I am gonna.
Okay, so do we, my question is this.
So here's here's the deal. You can either decide to come back one more time or, you know, submit without guidance from this board, which, you know, clearly you're not getting. I mean, it's difficult and I know it's costing you money every single time you do it. I don't know what else to suggest, because at this point you do not have 4 votes. What I hope I'm not hearing from this board is that 0 pyramid will be,
But
you
that's what I
know.
was getting at.
Well, I
Do
mean, I don't know. If that's the case, then
I'm-
I think that that's a real issue.
So I want to be clear, I'm not saying 0 is where I come out. My issue for you, and I know I hear the frustration, I really get it, is that we cannot sit here and tell you what's going to work. I think you just have to take what you're hearing, which is
I don't think they're getting
this
enough
square
guidance on it,
footage
frankly.
at
I'm sorry.
2,500.
Well, that's why
But
I hired
I don't think they're
her.
getting enough guidance on it, Julie.
Didn't know
I'm
anything
sorry.
about this.
I
So
just-
how do-
Well,
But Susan, over and over, you have,
understand we can't give a figure.
It's not my job to say 2,000 is the
I
right amount of
understand,
pyramid.
and you've said that, Susan, many a time in this chamber, so,
I
you know, I think
agree, and
it's
I
not right
agree.
to
I
put the
guess-
onus on us.
I agree
And
that it's
Susan-
difficult.
How much did you say that you exceed the, you know, the AE 8? Because, you know,
Like
the lowest
1
level is
foot,
supposed to
I
be at
guess.
10, did you say it's at 14?
We pushed the house down 3 feet.
No, I know, but
You
what,
exceeded by 1 foot,
by
right?
1 foot.
okay, so you only exceeded by 1 foot, all right.
May I
No,
say
the issue is clearly the dormers. I mean, that's the issue. The issue is the dormers. That's where your pyramid relief is.
And I can get that back inside, but now I get to
And-
give it
but-
up, and now if I want to extend the back end out, which I'm pretty much allowed, because I've seen other houses in there that already have that, to be inside the pyramid, I have to redesign my house again, which is gonna cost me $10,000 more.
And
I
send us back to
understand
the
that's not your
conservation
problem,
board.
it's my problem.
And we have to go back to.
We'd have to, if we change the footprint, we have to go back to the conservation board.
Helen, you wanted to say something?
when you say the statement that the board has hasn't given any guidance, I have an issue with that statement. I think that Kevin has given lots and lots of guidance over and over and over. Every time Daphne's come, he has made it very clear what's acceptable and not acceptable, without having to give a number. I mean, that's Daphne should, as the person that these people are paying for, help them do what she should know is appropriate to get what she wants. So,
I've received variances for 2,500 cubic feet many times,
And we routinely granted them.
many times.
But this, you know, every situation,
This
we
is
take, we take into account.
Well, just a moment.
lot,
You know
the
what? I do
location.
not
I'm
like
sorry, John,
the
I'm
implication
talking.
of that. I don't like the implication of that, and I think as the chairman, you should address that issue. You know, I don't like that you're saying, oh, it's not me, it's the board, and putting it on us as though
I don't think
we've
she
done
said it was
something
the
wrong.
board.
And because you've gotten 2,500.
John, she didn't
Hold
say
on.
that.
Let me
John,
finish.
let me finish. And she didn't say that. She said,
She
I have
absolutely
gotten
did.
variance. She did not say she's putting this on
I've
the
gotten,
board.
her exact words were, I've gotten 2,500 cubic feet of relief many times before, so it's not me. That was what was said. Thank you very much. And,
That was in response to what Helen.
but
said.
hold
That was in
on.
res-
Come on, John.
But hold on. No, I'm not going to come on. I'm not.
Okay, don't come on.
All that I'm saying is, yes, you've gotten 2,500 cubic feet of relief in other situations, But those are other situations. You're in a situation right now where you have a piece of property where all of the pieces of property around it for miles appear to be the same size, and you found one case of a variance.
Can I
And
just-
that's a problem.
Can I just ask the board, if this is one of those situations where no pyramid relief will be satisfactory to you?
No,
because
that
I
is
don't wanna
not-
send- I don't want to, if you're
Fair
telling me
question.
that I just don't want to
I'm
send
not
them on
saying
another
that.
mission.
That's an entirely fair question.
I think it's a fair question.
0 is not my objective
Okay,
personally.
I just want to know that.
I'm capable of entertaining a reasonable application in all the circumstances and the totality of everything said in the hearings.
Exactly. Requiring 0 variance would mean withdrawing the variance as to that and leaving it only open as to the setback relief. And I don't believe that anybody's
To be
saying
fair,
that.
oftentimes the board will suggest that only a one-story house is reasonable, and that is close to 0 pyramid. So I mean, you can say, I'll grant pyramid, but only for a one-story. So I mean, there is a little bit of
I'm
guidance.
not saying that.
Okay,
I-
but that's
I'm
perfect, that's perfect.
I do
But
want
I think it's a
clear, though-
legitimate question. I don't really
Totally
want to
fair.
send
Yeah,
you
but
back.
Susan, I'm
again.
uncomfortable with the burden shift onto us to prescribe what is correct
No, I
for an
understand. I
applicant.
agree.
I can't get there.
I'm just
No,
saying
if
if
I
you.
asked that once, but when we
Okay.
came back to last meeting, it seemed very positive and everything.
Yeah.
And I understand it was a mistake. You guys shouldn't have let us on like that, thinking that
Well,
everything
and
was great.
also reconsideration. They look at the thing
I've lost
again.
another month now, which
Yes.
I would have done at the last meeting if you said you weren't happy with it, to try and make some more adjustments to get it even further inside the pyramid without sacrificing so much of my house and design. I would have
If
done
I
that.
would have known all this, I would have just renovated it and not lived in it.
But
it's
I live in a
supposed to
different
be better to live
I'm
here
All right,
by
well,
the
you
water.
two better get together.
No, this is me from the beginning.
All right,
If I was
let's-
gonna go through all this and
I
all,
will
I've
say-
spent $30,000 and getting nowhere.
We didn't just find one, we found 2 others, but I didn't think that they were significant enough. Plus, they were 15 and 9 years old. So I didn't think that the board would even entertain those. So I only gave you the one that we found that was the most relevant, the most recent, and more than where we started,
Okay.
essentially. So.
Okay, I think you've gotten a sense of the board. I hope you have. And this is, let's put this, you want to adjourn? What do you want to do?
Do we ask the neighbors in this situation? Are there?
Yes, no, of course. Is there anybody in the audience who wishes to be heard on 15 Tarpon Road? Anybody on Zoom who wishes to be heard on 15 Tarpon Road?
No one.
Okay, John.
I'm not sure what to do. So do we close it for written subs? Do we
All right, what do
just
you
leave it
wanna do?
open?
Hold it open.
You want to
I
adjourn
think
it
you gotta leave it
again?
open.
We have to adjourn it. If we need
Hold
to
it
go back
open.
to the drawing board again,
Get
then
anything approved, I have to adjourn it so I
we
can make
gotta-
adjustments.
Okay,
Do that.
so, and how much time do you think you need?
when's your next available?
I
Looking
would
at
say
12:04.
12:04.
You know, 10:16, we have too many. 11:06, we're,
What about 11:20 under the circumstances?
well, we have 9, but one of them is, isn't one of them 7-Eleven?
Let's squeeze them in, let's squeeze them in.
No, is 11:27?
All right, so you want to do,
11:20, we'll squeeze it in.
Oh, no, 11:20
11:20?
is Sandland.
No, it's 9/11, but what it,
It's
what
9/11.
I did, I always usually try to do at least 7 new applications, 1 per board member. But if you want to go ahead and have them come back, I'll just take that number down to 6 and replace
Yeah.
it with their application.
Let's get them in.
I think that's
So then
fair.
that
Let's
way
get them in as soon as we
11:20?
can.
Assuming that you're able
I'm okay.
to deal with this issue on it.
Money, you can do anything.
Okay, so we're gonna, all right, so we're gonna adjourn to
Oh, the last guy,
10, to 11:20.
I'm a very funny guy.
All right, so John's gonna make a motion.
So we're gonna leave open till 11:20?
was that, we do 11:20,
It's a
Candace?
motion, yes, second.
Second.
We're gonna adjourn to 11:20.
Oh, adjourn to
So,
11:20.
Mr. Redden,
Yes. Aye.
Mr. Leonard,
Aye.
Ms. Kane,
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay, thank you.
Okay, number 13. Number 13 on the agenda, 40 Ocean View Drive LLC.
No, 13.
Oh, sorry, Josephson. Okay, number 14 on the agenda, the application of Brandon Josephson and Sarah Church, 22 Bay Avenue, Noyak, Suffolk County Tax Map number 900-5-3-39.
A little safer.
You can be right in front of me. I'm not your problem.
Joseph.
Carl Bonacasa, 860 Montauk Highway, Watermill, New York, for the applicant.
Cove Drive, Sag Harbor, New York.
Thank you to the board for allowing us to reopen this hearing. At the last one, we were under the impression that we had support and it was closed. We'd heard in the interim that was not the case. So I've spoken to my client since about ways to reduce it or to mitigate the pyramid relief. I'll just go through quickly the history of the pyramid. First version, which was submitted in recognition of a variance that was about 100 feet away for well in excess of 5,700 cubic feet. The first iteration was a relief of 5,687 cubic feet. The board weighed in. It was clear they wanted a reduction, so we came back. On June 4th, we came back with a 15% reduction to 4,837 cubic feet. Again, too much. So on July 10th, we were back and we asked for a, again, reduced request to 3,894, which is just about the same relief granted to a lot that's about 500 feet away, and you have all the listed. This area is replete with variances. Granted last year by this board, which was about 3,875 cubic feet. So we thought that reduction would get us in line with that recent precedent granted last year. That was the last iteration that was considered July 10th. We've learned that again, board members had concerns with that amount of relief, so we went back to the drawing board to a degree, and David can tell you what we've done. Plans were submitted just recently. We just got the plans
We don't
this
have
week.
them, yeah. Maybe they're in.
They're in our written subs.
They
10-1.
were submitted, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But David was traveling last week, so we just got this last week.
So what I was able to do, going back to the middle revision, actually, I'll speak a little bit more to all the revisions. The first revision, we made the house smaller. We squeezed it in side to side by 18 inches.
And I have an extra one.
The second revision, we changed the roof pitch, which was a 12-12, 45-degree angle. And we lowered the roof pitch down to a 10-12, and we shaved off, another, whatever it was, 800 some odd cubic feet. Now, in this iteration, I've lowered the roof pitch further it's now an 8-12 instead of 10-12. And we've taken out another 842 cubic feet, so our new request, as Carl said, is 2982. And the 812 is as low as we can go. Because we're starting to impact bedroom, 8-foot first floor system. And the second floor is 5-foot knee walls, except for where we have dormers. Those are 8 feet. But the pitch of the roof, and we are going to cathedral to try to create some sense of airiness in the rooms, but at this point, we really can't take any more out of the roof, nor should we, because it's starting to lose the character of cottage-style architecture. It's not looking like that. And the other thing that I should mention is that in changing the pitch these 2 times, we've lowered the ridge height by 3 feet. So the ridge height now is 18 inches in each reduction. The ridge height is only 23'8" above average natural grade, which is pretty low for a 2-story house.
23 from the grade or from the beginning of the first floor?
Average natural grade.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
So that's a pretty low ridge for a 2-story house. So I feel like I've squeezed absolutely everything I can get out of this, and we just hope that you'll agree.
Some other mitigating factors I think it's appropriate to consider. Although there is no grandfathering, the existing structure has about 1,000 cubic feet of pyramid encroachment, which you can certainly include in any decision as a reference to the fact that the proposed addition will only increase pyramid by 2,000 cubic feet, as opposed to what's there. I would also note that both neighboring.
Wait, I'm sorry, Carl, repeat that?
The existing home.
Right.
Has existing pyramid encroachment of 1,000 cubic feet.
So the total's like 3,000 that you're asking for.
We're asking for 29.
2982, so if you
29.82.
credit us the 1012 that's there, we're low.
So you're asking for an additional 1982. You said 1,000 is the existing?
It's a little more than 1,000.
A little more?
1,012. So the difference as far as how this will appear or how the massing will be is even though we are asking for 2982, the actual difference between what's there now and what will be there is
1970.
1970. Both neighbors have written letters of support on either side, which I think is important. Both neighbors have received variances for about 1,000 cubic feet or around that. As I presented a chart in my first application that showed relief all over this area. If you're familiar with Pine Neck, it was built out as a little beach cabanas, and there's relief everywhere. I submitted this, back in July, I submitted this analysis of various variances. I looked at the substantial variances in the area, and we determined that the average was about 4,000. And I know that Kevin, we'd had a discussion about that, and that was important to you. This would actually be reducing the average variance for new construction in the area. Again, recent variances in '24, 3871 within 500 feet. In '23, within 200 feet, 537328. There was, in 2016, this is the outlier, but there was a relief granted in the area for 8,532 cubic.
When was that?
2016. It was a while ago.
A while ago.
And an outlier. Let's put it in the record.
Get it in the record.
Yeah.
So, in light of all that, and I would also note the home is only, what's this?
20, it's out of here, 2242 square feet, so it's not a large home.
It's only less than 2,300 square foot.
4.
Dave, are your numbers on these plans?
The
pyramid, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you guys keep saying 2982.
Yeah, if you take the left and the right and you add them, it's 17, 18
Yep.
on the left
Yep.
and
12, 16.
16.
on the right.
Okay, I get 2934.
Oh, okay. Maybe I did some bad math, sorry.
No, those were the numbers Carl had too, but then.
34, so we're
Okay.
better than you.
Yeah.
2934.
Take every inch.
Yeah.
This is not the home that they want. This is a compromised home. And they are, the addition is very important to them and their family. They've been here at every application, you probably recognize them now. And this has been a tough application. This board has certainly stated its position and made it clear on pyramid.
We put you through your paces.
So, this is mine, and I do want to say, I appreciate all the work that's been done, thank you, and the effort that you've made, and it is quite distinguishable for me, for what it's worth, from the application that came before.
Yes.
For a lot of reasons, not that that's terribly relevant for this record, but I'm going to just go out on a crazy limb and say on the record that I am comfortable with where this stands, and you can expect a yes vote from me.
I agree with Julie.
I
Yeah,
agree with Julie.
I again was a flip-flopper. And, well, no, I never stated a position on the record. I actually went back and looked. But I thought that I was comfortable with it, and then I felt like I was not. And I have to say that, given the fact that the additional relief that's being requested is really 1,922 cubic feet. That makes me very comfortable. So,
But understand that when they take the house down, they don't get a credit for that 1,000 feet. It's just in terms of, you know, visually, it's 1,900
additional
as opposed,
massing
right, it's
is all.
additional mass.
No.
Yes, no,
Understood.
I just
The
wanted to
total
clarify.
relief is going to be 2,934.
Right.
But the fact that there's an existing pyramid,
It's not so dramatic.
it's not as dramatic for me, and I think that's something I can live with.
I have in writing.
Yeah, please, I'll sign it for you.
Speak into the microphone, Mr.
Well, let's
Leonard.
see if there are any other comments from the board.
All right.
Anybody
It's up
else
to you,
from the
Mr.
board
McDonald.
wishes to comment?
We got 4.
I have no other comments. I do appreciate the effort. I'm really better off probably saying nothing more, but thank you.
All right, that's good. John, did you want to say anything?
No, I think the last time was good, and I think this one's just better, so.
It's even better.
I'd like to say one more thing. I think this application distinguishes itself because of how narrow the lot is, how many other variances within a close proximity to this have been granted by this board over the course of many years. And so that distinguishes this case. And so this kind of relief, I think, is appropriate.
Can I add one other thing, just because other people listen to this and then they wonder what, you know, where are we with this? I really appreciate that the structure height, you know, my issue always was mass and size. And, you know, when you brought it down, I think it fits better, and I hope I'm right. And I again, thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard on 40 Ocean View Drive? Is there anybody on Zoom who wishes to be heard on 40 Ocean View Drive?
No one. No one. I don't know if you heard that.
20.
It's late.
I didn't
Anybody
catch
on
you
20?
doing that.
You did something
didn't
to
get
it. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. I stand.
Aw, yes.
Candace, you're having a good night.
Email the supervisor.
I'm so sorry. 22 Bay Avenue.
Thank you.
Okay, Julie, this is yours. All right, sorry, go ahead.
On the, just wanna confirm, on the plans that you submitted, is the number correct or?
Yeah, the number is the correct number. I had it wrong in my notes.
Okay, yeah, all right, that's what make sure I was.
So the number-
You don't have to correct a plan or anything like that. Everything is accurate at this point. Okay, good.
Okay, so we are going to close the public hearing. We're going to hold it open for written submissions until October 17 with a decision on
11-6.
11/6.
Second.
Ms. Kane?
Aye.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Mastrangelo? Mr. Redhand?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is mine, 40 Ocean View.
Okay, number, oh yeah, number 1 on the agenda. Oh, do 40.
One, I have nobody here for.
Okay, let's do 40. Okay, number 13 on the agenda. 40, application of 40 Ocean View Drive LLC, 40 Ocean View Drive, Shinnecock Hills, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-271-1-44.
6, 7, 8.
Okay,
40 Ocean View. 40 Ocean View we're doing right now, right?
we're doing
Carl-
40 Ocean.
Yeah, 40 Ocean. Carl Benacasa, 860 Montauk Highway, Watermill, New York. For the applicant, you guys should put your.
Have you guys been sworn in before
No.
on this application?
No, no,
All right, well,
not
let's
on-
swear
not
you
on
in.
this iteration,
All right,
no.
all right. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I did.
Okay, please state your name and address.
Joseph LaVoy, 13 Kent Commons, Yaphank, New York, 11982.
And who are you, and what are you, and why are you?
Contractor.
Okay.
Joseph, just spell your last name for me, just have it correct. You like, I'm over here.
Oh, Levoi, V is in Victor.
O-I.
O-I.
Okay.
Mayron Talley, MEHRAN, TALAIE, 801 Motor Parkway, Hoplock.
And your function, sir, is? Architect, thank you,
Architect.
okay.
So, when we were last here, just for everyone's recollection, this house was granted pyramid relief in the past. They went in for their building permit there's a rooftop deck. The building department determined that the rooftop deck needed a safety railing across it, and that safety railing needed pyramid relief. It's about, what's the relief? It's about 18, is it 18 cubic? Sorry, it's 18.
18 cubic feet.
18 cubic feet, sorry. It is. When we were last here, the board's primary question, as I understood it, was the roof deck on the plan when it was last approved by the board? And it was. I have a
Well,
stamp.
there was also a question about pyramid, and whether the pyramid was accurate.
Well, yes, I frankly, I don't think that's relevant. If they were right, if they're right, then we're not asking for enough and we'll have to come back. But this is, the town reviewed it and said, this is the relief we need, the building department. So they were, I think what the chair's saying is that the opposition, and who's here, I'm sure will speak, was saying, we actually need more relief than we're asking for this structure.
But building already looked
The
at it.
building
says,
department looked at it and told us the relief we need.
This is what you
Well,
really.
but if I recall correctly from my notes, we were here today to find out the provenance of the use of the roof deck, and whether or not it was in the original plans to be used as an outdoor sitting area, you know, hot tub, kitchen.
Well, it's, and that was
Do we
my
have the original
understanding too.
plans?
I do. It's stamped from 2022 as part of the variance file, and it shows the roof deck. Do you have other?
It shows a roof deck, but it doesn't show.
But that, I mean, we don't need relief for anything else on it.
Well, I mean,
That's
I'm not sure I agree with that, Carl, because I wasn't sitting on this board at that time, but I certainly would have inquired about the plans for the use of the roof deck in considering whether or not to grant relief. Because it's an entirely different thing if you have a little deck with a chaise lounge than if you have a deck, which frankly can serve as a party deck, in my judgment. And it's got a hot tub, and it's got an outdoor kitchen, and many other features, and that would have factored into my thinking on whether or not to approve any relief.
May I speak?
Yes.
We do have a permit for the kitchen and, you know, everything that's on that deck.
Yeah, but I think Julie's saying that if she were
I
on
have
the board.
photos, if-
We're going back to 2022.
We're going back to 2022.
Right.
So,
When in 2022? I
Well, wait one
came on in
I
October,
think
I
we're
don't
getting
believe I
ahead
was
of
here.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Getting ahead, you want them back? Want them back?
yeah, we can take them back.
Okay. I
So
don't,
I think,
But there was always
Okay,
confusion
this-
as to what the pyramid relief was. I mean, I have to say,
yeah, so,
always.
but yes, you were on the board.
Yes, I was.
So the relief granted was, what was the amount of the original relief?
when was this first approved? Just,
1978 cubic, sorry.
when was this first approved?
2022?
Okay.
This one was 2024.
Oh, this was 2024. There was a previous
The
one in
previous,
22.
yes.
So Carl, I have to say, maybe you're prepared to do it tonight, maybe you're not, but I felt like when you guys came back, the idea was to have everyone who was involved from the dawn of time on this project until the present, so we could understand the entire history. And I feel like we're leapfrogging a little bit.
So you want to go through the whole history?
I do.
Okay, we can do that. So do you want to go through, since you were the history of the application?
History in terms of what, as far as what?
Everything that happened, what you applied for, what you were seeking, what you submitted, what was contemplated on that roof deck, what relief was requested, what people reviewed and were required to review?
To my knowledge, was never a subject of this board. It was,
Well, it is now, so I think what I'm asking
Yeah, let me
is,
go through it.
please
Go
help
ahead.
me understand what happened.
So in, the first decision was in August of 2022, and references the architectural plans, which I was just showing, I don't know if they're still here, with respect to the roof deck. The first public hearing took place in February of '22, and the final hearing that was closed for written submission in June of that year. At that time, the roof deck and access to the roof were discussed and were on the plans. In June of 2024, in a decision subsequent modifying the request The board clarified that any architectural feature constructed on the top of the proposed dwelling must remain open, and that the dwelling must be constructed pursuant to the plans approved by this board in decision D0228-087, which is the 22 application. So
And do
again,
we understand what must remain open means?
there was that there would be no roofed area on the roof deck.
It was like an
There
architectural
was an
feature.
architectural,
There was, yeah.
you know,
It's in the front of
whatever.
the house.
Okay,
There's an
It was in the front of the house, there's that feature, yeah.
got it.
So it clarified that.
That has stay open.
Can I add to that?
1 second. In a second.
Go ahead, please.
Then, and that it must be adherent to those plans without that feature. That approval was then used for a building permit application, which was submitted to the board and granted. The home was then built. As they were getting the CO, the building department said, well, you've got to put a railing on that roof deck. So they did that. And then they said, that railing is a pyramid encroachment. And that's why we're back here for this 18 cubic feet of relief for the railing.
Although that's a dispute. There's a dispute as to whether that's 18 cubic feet or a larger number.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And I'll tell you why I don't think it's relevant, because we're asking for what we're asking for. If we're wrong, then we're going to have to come back here for more relief. They're saying we should be asking for a lot more relief. The building department reviewed this, considered our application, agreed with the calculation, and is saying you need 18 cubic feet.
That's what we have to go by then.
I think that's, I mean, I would talk to Katie, but I don't know that someone saying the building department's wrong, your analysis is wrong, is enough for you to say we have to ask for more relief.
What was the variance granted for pyramid relief in 2022?
1978.
Okay.
1970.
1,978.
Okay, thank you.
Why do I have something here that says
a good
pyramid
year, Ken.
encroachment, 11,448 cubic feet? What
Because
is-
that is the competing analysis.
Okay, so that's the other viewpoint. Okay. All right.
So
Which the building department doesn't see that analysis.
has the building department seen that?
No,
I
so
don't,
they don't
I
agree with
don't
that
know. The building
analysis.
department has reviewed our analysis and
The building department, though, as I understand it, wouldn't have seen it. That would have been a submission we have, but that wouldn't necessarily
No,
go to
but
the
they-
building
their
department, right?
analysis-
Yes.
Their
the
analysis
building department
gave you the
accepts their
number.
analysis, determines what relief is needed, and then it comes to you.
Had to do in every application.
That's how it is in every application.
Yes, okay.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Is that the end of it?
Well, that's the history which got us to here. When we were last here, the question was the roof deck on the plans approved? And it was.
Right. Now, when you say that, there is apparently an enclosed area now for eating? Was that,
Is there an enclosed area, a roof?
No.
there's no enclosed area? I thought that it said
No.
that on the,
In the front of the house, it's, the front section's closed off from the back section, but it's open. It's just a structure, like it's
Okay.
an architectural feature.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a bulkhead, but you can't go under it. Right, is that fair to say?
Yeah, well, there's a bulkhead that accesses the roof, but in front of it is, you know, it's like a box that's just open. It's open on top and on the sides. I mean, I have,
Yeah, if you have pictures, please.
Okay. Did you give Candace, you need to give her?
You have to give her.
Yeah.
give them all to her.
No, just.
No, you can give them to us, but you have to give her one.
I think she needs two.
We have 7.
Are these are all different, you have 7 sets?
The 7 sets I did.
Okay.
Okay, this is one set.
Thank you.
2.
Thank you.
Thank you. And she has a 7 set.
Got it.
I think the last picture shows sort of what you're thinking about, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
it's like the bulkhead, but if you see from the front of the house, that's all open on the other side.
Yeah, but, what, was this on the original
is on there,
plans?
yeah, it's on these
It
plans.
was on the original plans.
This is basically the problem. Oh, that,
So there is,
That-
now where, There is no enclosed eating area up there?
What do you mean by enclosed, like a walled eating area?
With a roof?
Yeah.
Roof?
Just, the bulkhead itself, the
Tented
bulkhead
or
itself is part of the house structure to get out onto the roof.
Front, there's no
Where
access
that
to the
door
front,
is.
Joe.
There's no access to the front,
Right.
just to the back of the house,
Okay, yeah.
where the
So-
kitchen
That,
is.
and that was a point of dispute throughout the earlier application, whether you'd have access to the front of the roof. And the board said no.
Okay.
And the back of the house is where the pool is,
Sure.
right?
I don't know why I only have one, I'm sorry. Oh, I don't only have one. You should put them all
So basically, your argument is that the roof deck is shown on the plans that were originally provided when the first variance application was put in, and any of the accoutrements to the roof deck are not subject to the variance and already have permits.
That's correct. The only thing that needs relief is that safety rail.
Is the safety railing, which
And you have copies
would
of
seem
those-
that we would be remiss if we were not,
I'm sorry,
preventing
do you
people
have
from
copies of the
falling off the
permits for
roof.
all the,
I do, I don't have them on me, I didn't.
What's being passed out now is the plan that you're looking at, Julie, that's being passed along with the previous variances.
All right, Carl? Carl?
Helen's,
Carl? Carl?
Yes?
Can you hear?
I can barely hear you.
speak up, Helen.
Carl, do you have a bathroom on this roof?
Did she say?
A bathroom on the roof?
Is there a bathroom on the roof?
No, not inside. Inside the house, there's a bathroom.
I just-
Downstairs, I assume, yeah.
Carl,
No bathroom on the
There's a
roof.
bathroom in the house, yes.
Carl, can I refer you to the letter written by your neighbors, Chris and Lillian Severnich, where they make a list
The
of
neighbor says that
everything?
there is a bathroom on the roof.
Pardon me?
On the roof?
That's what the letter says.
Inside the bulkhead of the house, there's a bathroom.
Oh, so there's a
Well,
bathroom
then
in the
there is,
bulkhead.
in the bulkhead. Well, that's on the roof. The bulkhead is on the roof.
Okay, I thought that's part of the structure of the house.
Well, it's the
May-
third floor.
Yes, it was on the plan.
It was on the plans?
Yes.
The bathroom was approved on the plans?
Yes.
Where are the plans? Did I get a copy of those?
Carl, may I continue to finish my sentence?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so on page 2 of the letter, Carl, do you have that letter in front of you?
Do I have what? A letter? No, I don't have the letter.
Okay, in this, on page 2, it says the roof built out includes the following: the washroom with the toilet, the outdoor kitchen built against the bulkhead, a large outdoor grill with cabinet, a hot tub, an outside shower, a fire pit, gas lines, exterior lighting, exterior loudspeakers, umbrellas, gas lamp heaters, lighting and electrical, large lounge chairs, large couch and chairs group, various side tables. Are these all on the roof?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, the lounge chairs are on the
Why
roof.
don't you speak closer to?
Yes, the lounge chairs are on the roof.
I'm talking about no, but this other, what I mentioned, the outdoor kitchen, the
Yes, there's
outdoor
an outdoor
grill,
kitchen.
is that on? Should I do it piece by piece, Carl?
There's too many people talking. I'm sorry, Helen, can you repeat that? It's very hard to hear you, Helen, I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm gonna read them item by item, and if you'd be kind enough to tell me yes or no, whether these items are on the roof, okay? Which would make a third floor plan. This would be, for me, it would constitute a third floor. And it says in the letter written by the neighbor who lives to the adjoining house that it has a washroom with toilet. Is that a yes? On the roof?
In the bulkhead.
What?
There's a bathroom in the bulkhead.
You consider, is this the bulkhead? So,
Yes. You see where the door is?
yeah,
Like that door, that's the
I
bulkhead.
understand why you would have a door in a bathroom. Okay.
But that's also access. That's a hallway with stairs to go downstairs.
Okay, the next one is the outdoor kitchen.
And
Is there
this
an
is
outdoor
shown,
kitchen on this roof?
Wait, Kevin, would you just let Helen try to
I'm
finish
sorry, go
her?
ahead, finish.
Building plans, but let me see.
Yeah, it's not shown on the.
Go ahead, Helen.
Helen, keep going.
Can I just tell me yes or no on that one, Carl?
Can I have that?
Carl, will you answer Helen? Is there an outdoor kitchen?
Yes,
There
there's an
is?
outdoor kitchen with permits.
Okay, next one, is there an outdoor grill?
Is there an outdoor grill?
Yes, there's a grill.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
next one, a hot tub
Yes.
and an outdoor shower? On the third floor?
Yes, we have a permit for the outdoor shower.
Is that in the bulkhead too, is that on the?
That's outside on the
See what
outside.
I'm-
Okay.
Today went a little nuts.
I think it was in addition to the building plans that weren't before the ZBA, but it didn't need relief.
They got it into, I built my backyard.
We're coming for you.
What are you talking about?
Wait, there is no, so the bathroom is concerning me. There's no bathroom on the plan, and there is a bathroom existing.
That's what I thought.
So I'm puzzled by that. Can you help us?
The bathroom was added subsequent to the variance, right? But we didn't need relief for it.
But let me just say this, Carl, when we have access stairs that go up to a roof, that generally is not considered a problem, other than pyramid. But this has a bathroom inside that area. That, to me, sounds like it's a third floor. I mean, you know, I think there's some question as to when you put a bathroom in that spot, stair access is one thing, but putting I don't know, I'm
We're
looking
not-
to council.
Is a bathroom considered living space?
We're not asking for relief for the bathroom, so if the building department.
The issue with this,
Help
I mean, let's just
clarify.
be clear. The issue with this is that we've seen this application several times. Every single time, there has been opposition from the neighbors. The neighbors have poured over the plans. This board was very careful to make sure that they knew everything that was going on. The neighbor was very careful to watch all of the plans. And what happened was they secured the variances, and then they got permits from the building department for a bunch of things that the building department is saying comply. I mean, this happens a lot, right? Like, people can build what complies with the town code. The problem with this is that this is significant, that the neighbor is saying, I've been to this board several times, I've listened to all of this was never before you, and you're representing that all of this was before them, and it wasn't.
No,
You're
just the roof deck was before them.
Right, but now so yes, Katie,
Yes.
that's helpful to me,
Yes, so the
because
fact that it only needs a little bit of pyramid relief is different from the fact that all of this seems to be as of right, but it wasn't disclosed to this board.
Right.
And I know what you're saying, it doesn't need to be, because it's as of right. So I think the issue before you is, do you want to give this variance to allow all of this space to be used, or do you want them to scale the roof back, scale the railing back to where it complies? And that will shrink the amount of livable space or usable space on this roof deck, right?
Well, Katie, I'm concerned that as the neighbor says, that this is no longer a roof deck, but it is a third floor.
They listen, what I just said, Helen, in the packet, they have a building permit for everything that's up there. Everything other than the railing, everything up there has a building permit.
but we may not have approved a third floor had it been presented in a way that it appears, at least to me, to be.
Exactly.
It's a lot of usable space, there's a lot going on up there, and now suddenly there's a bathroom which is not reflected in the plans. And I'm just gonna speak for myself again. Sir, you should listen to me. I feel misled. That's how I feel. I'm not saying anyone has intentionally misled. I feel misled, and I don't like it, and it makes me, and nobody owned up when you walked in and said, oh yeah, bathroom, by the way, and it's not on the plan. It would have been helpful for me to hear that from the minute you walked in the room today.
Exactly, Julie, I agree, and I haven't even read the next 10 items. There's 10 more items that they enumerate, and if I hadn't gotten the letter from the neighbor, I wouldn't know about this. I mean, I don't remember Carl sharing it with me. I mean, if he did, I just don't remember. I do agree with you, Julie. I feel totally misled on this application.
All that being said, though, and that's what I kind of was summarizing, right? I mean, that's how the board feels, that's how the neighbors feel. All that being said, it's all permitted as of right, except for the railings. So again, I think
Yeah, why I'm supposed to discuss things that we're not seeking relief for.
only
And how
because
that's
of,
misleading
because
the
of, no,
board.
the reason everybody feels misled is because of the history of this.
Here's the issue for me, as still a relatively new member. There's plenty of things we see on plans that don't require any relief, but it's disclosed, and you see the whole picture, and when you see the whole picture, you then can evaluate the whole impact of what you think is being presented before you. And I agree fully with Julie. It's like, well, you know, it's only just a staircase that goes up to the roof occasionally, and then it's a party deck with a bathroom, with likely lights and a whole host of other things. And that's a fair issue that might have been worthy of having disclosed to the prior board, and now we're being handed this nasty sandwich that says, put some Worcestershire sauce on it, and please take a bite. And in the form of, we're just talking about a piece of glass, which is still in dispute. So, I'm irritated like Julie.
Yeah, so, I think the problem is that when we considered the,
Sir,
yeah, okay, you can come up in a second. When we, looked at this for a variance, we were looking at it, okay, we're gonna give 1,978, cubic feet, not thinking that it was going to be develop into this, spa up on the roof. So I think that that's part of the concern of the misleading. But before us right now,
That's the third person to say that we've misled.
I did not say that, and let me be extremely clear, I say I feel misled.
That's very
Whether or not
different.
you intentionally did it,
don't
I
think you
don't know.
intentionally- well, I don't know.
I feel misled.
I didn't intentionally.
Well, you weren't even involved at that
On the
point.
plans that we have, the bathroom was always on the plans that I
I
had.
don't see the plan, I
Well,
don't see that.
The building plans.
well, and one thing that I'm noting is, I remember,
Building
Bathroom
department?
up there.
I remember looking at this application, I remember in the beginning, it was an open-air
Right.
architectural
That's what it is now.
structure, and the building plan has roof open to above. It looked like it was just supposed to be a stairwell
Right.
without that structure, and now, I guess, as of right, you went and enclosed that area and put in a bathroom.
The board saying that removal of the bathroom might be a mitigating.
No, it's not that, I'm just saying that, there were so many iterations of this, and it seems to have, after we approved what was presented to us, now suddenly it's something completely different.
Correct.
And for
Yeah,
us,
with permits, but when we were considering the variance for, pyramid relief, we didn't get that information. So that's.
that was what the intention was.
Yeah.
Exactly, and
On that roof deck.
We thought it was, you access, you put a lounge chair up there or something, but,
right, and asking
If
us,
it's scaled back and more in line with your understanding.
yes, I think that would be.
I'm
helpful.
I'm sorry.
Go
I'm
ahead.
interested in knowing what would remain if we didn't grant the relief of the 11, if it is in fact 11. I would like to know what you can do up there after that.
Really, if you don't grant the relief,
Mm-hmm.
the rails come in, and you've done nothing. Now, you have a chance to perhaps work with us on mitigating some of what's done up there.
That's what I'm trying to understand.
How much would the rails have to come in?
That's what I want to know.
One other thing, I have to say, I'm so sorry, Carl.
no, let him answer that question first, please. How far in with the where?
It's not much, because they're only asking for 18 cubic feet. How much would the rails have to come in to be?
I don't have that answer yet.
Yeah, I mean, I could get you that.
So I'm saying, but if
It's
the railings,
not-
if
it
the
really
rails
does
come in,
nothing.
then you withdraw the application, and we don't even hear any of this other stuff.
Pyramid,
Yes.
if the rails are 3 feet, they have to come in 3 feet to be outside of the pyramid, roughly, but I don't know that yet. I just want to mention this to the board. When we talk about a roof deck, the roof deck is roughly 10 feet, 11 feet above the street level. Okay? Because of the topography, okay, if this is street, this is actually the second floor that you enter in. The first floor is half underground. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not like a roof deck
Like a
that is
third.
30 feet high or 32
I,
feet
we,
high.
I
What's the
understand,
total
I
height of
remember
the-
that from the,
Okay,
What's the
so,
total height?
Yeah.
At the height, at
the highest,
Grade or at, right here, what's the
At the
total?
lowest
right
grade.
here,
the highest grade,
the lowest one.
lowest grade,
approximately 12 feet.
no, at the lowest
So the
grade,
roof deck
lowest
is
where it slopes
roughly
down from
12 feet above the street level.
street level, but when you go
You
down.
go down.
And as you go down, the
What's the-
topography goes down, and first floor is walkout.
What's the height at the
height.
lowest grade? That's what he's asking.
Okay, what, the lowest grade, I don't have dimensions here, but
Right here, what does that say? 25?
I can't even see.
Anthony, was planning involved in this at all, or no?
Thank God.
Phew.
25, okay.
25 and 9/8.
Okay.
23 and 9/8. Does anyone,
Well within,
who
That's
has
the
younger eyes
tallest
than me?
part of the house.
Candace?
Don't ask me.
Don't ask me.
I can't see anything.
neither can I.
All right, where are we going with this? We want to hear from people in the audience who may want to make a comment, so, feel free, come up.
This is the,
Okay, and have I sworn you in before?
no, ma'am.
Okay. Are you returning?
No.
All right. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name and
My
address.
name's Jeff Allen.
Okay, Jeff. Jeff,
Jeff, are you, you'll have to do it with Ian or Ian?
I became a real estate developer by mistake. I'm sure all of you are familiar with Jim Zizzi. I'm the guy that got cheated out of $2.5 million. So I just want to make it very clear that I don't lie, cheat, or steal to anybody. I don't deceive. I'm sorry if anybody feels misled by me. We went through the process. I hired an architect, Mayron, who told me I needed pyramid relief from the ZBA. He was always aware that I was going to put, it's a very small lot. And I also had to deal with the DEC. I'm on a 47-foot bluff, but I have to be 100 feet off of the high water mark, which leaves no room for a jacuzzi or a hot tub, we'll call it, because it's only a 3-person hot tub. Not for a party, because, maybe, it's one more than a couple, but we live in a crazy world, okay?
yeah, right.
But it's
Let's
a
not go there.
it's a 3-person hot tub, not 30, there's no party.
Let's not go there.
So I have to come 100 feet off the high water line. So by having to come 100 feet, I'm very limited on the space on the ground. I don't even have room for really, I put in a roll-in barbecue, but for the value of the house, a roll-in barbecue doesn't work. You call it an outdoor kitchen, it's a barbecue on the roof, just like you have on the ground. But I don't have ground space, and that 100 feet from the end of the pool to the water, I'm not allowed to really do anything with that except put a lounge chair maybe. So I had to deal with an architect who said, I need pyramid relief from the ZBA. So we applied for pyramid relief. I had even asked him at one point, I said, why don't we have the kitchen drawn in? And he says, well, that's a different department. That's the building department. They approve whether you can have, you gave us the bulkhead for the stairs. There's you'll call it a bathroom. It's big enough for a 20-inch sink and a little toilet bowl, so you don't have to run down, because this house doesn't have an elevator. And although you consider it 2 stories, it's 1 level on the street side, and the water side, we come out of the basement. So it took a lot of excavating to make the basement come out. I did not try to deceive anybody. I just wanted to build a house and move on in my life to other things. So we got the permits the way I was told we need to get the permits. If it offended anybody, I'm truly sorry. If somebody would have told me I needed to tell you that I'm going to put a barbecue on the roof, or if I wanted to have 2 lounge chairs, there's 4 lounge chairs on the roof. So I don't know what size party you're having with 4 lounge chairs. It's a 5-bedroom house with a kitchen living room area. There's no den, there's no space. It's a 1,800, approximately 1,800 square footprint. The idea that I'm 11,000 square feet too big, the whole house is 3,600. So I don't even know where 11,000 comes in. So I have a neighbor that's unhappy, and on my block right now, there's construction going on to the left of me. They're putting up a new house. I'm sure they must have been before you. If not, maybe they, because it's a bigger lot, maybe they did need to go before you. And they'll put whatever they want on their roof, as long as the building department will permit it. There's a house down the block being built. But because my lot is so small, I had to come to you for pyramid relief. If somebody would have said other, I would have done other. I've been the victim in this town, again, from Jim Zizzi. Look me up, Jeff Allen, Jim Zizzi. You'll see that I'm not telling you a story. But I wanted to come here because it's 18 square feet. And I did say to the architect at one point, they said, because if you look at your plan, the railing, it does show it in the plan. And he said, oh, you don't have to show the square footage because it's required by code. You have to have a rail. So I'm not saying he did the right thing or the wrong thing. I'm saying this is my story. I did not plan on deceiving anybody. I just wanted to build a house, live in peace, and didn't even expect to speak today. I didn't want to speak. I'm dry mouthed. I'm not a public speaker. That's my story.
So actually, I appreciate your comments, and I'm glad you did speak.
Yes, yes, thank you very
Anybody
much.
have water?
In the hall.
Water fountain
Water. Yeah.
Water fountain right outside, to the left.
Okay. Is there anybody else in the audience who wishes to be heard? Please come forward.
Susan? Susan, can I ask something?
Yes, go ahead, Helen, but you've got to speak up. We're having a hard time hearing you.
I'd like to ask Carl. Carl, have you seen in the package an Exhibit C, dated March 16, 2024, the two ads, the one that says Malibu meets the Hamptons? It's a description of your application, and it includes the all the elements that this gentleman says aren't on the roof. It says that they are on the roof. And then there's the picture of the lounge chairs, large, very large lounge chairs, and there's 5 of them. Then there's the outdoor kitchen, not just a grill. In fact, there's 2 more lounge chairs. So I don't know what this fellow, the supposed builder, is talking about. And then there's an ad from Nest Seekers to, for the sale of this house.
Pergola,
And
we
it-
wanted to put that, but we couldn't put it because it was above the height.
And then, but it's all in the ad. Each bed, this is a 5-bedroom, 5-bath house, 5 ensuite bedroom, 2 half baths, modern estate, overlooking Shinnecock Bay. Each bedroom provides comfort and privacy. Highlights include a chef's kitchen, if I can heat you to the pool, of course, and then private rooftop deck with a stainless steel kitchen and stone waterfall countertop. That one I didn't even know exists on the letter. And jacuzzi, hot tub, spa, gas control, fire pit, etc., etc. So, I mean, and then of course, I never read the rest of the list called. Do you have a copy, Carl? It's really important that you should have this packet that was produced by the tenant.
I mean, this is completely.
Sure, and they had this lawyer, Robert Merrill, and I don't know why they're not here today. Maybe I don't know if they were told to appear today.
They're here.
They're here. Are they here?
The neighbor is here, yes, Helen.
Yeah, we're going to hear Helen from the neighbor next.
Okay, I just want to, I never had an opportunity to mention the 13, actually,
Oh, you're talking about the pergola on there?
items that they had in their
That's
list.
not,
So
how is that on this picture?
I just see,
Helen, the owner would like to respond to you. Please come up to
no
the
problem.
microphone.
Yeah, it's CGI, yes.
Hi, Helen, this is Jeff Allen. The marketing, I'm in the entertainment industry primarily. This house is on a 47-foot bluff. If you've ever been to Malibu, many of the homes sit on bluffs on top of the water. So the idea of Malibu meets the Hamptons was not to insinuate anything other than it had a Malibu feel to it. If there are 4 or 5 lounge chairs on the roof, that's possible. It is a 5-bedroom house, so if you have one person in each bedroom, that would be 5 lounge chairs. It does have an aluminum kitchen. It has an aluminum, sink. But it is by far not a party house. It's a home for a family, and it's only I think about 3,630 square feet in size. It is restricted on the land that I have available to me, as I had to be 100 feet off of the high water mark, and I did the best I could, and I apologize if my description offends you, but it is not meant to insinuate a party, as many families live in Malibu and call it home.
Okay. And also, from what I understand, this is a computer-generated picture, and the pergola does not exist. And so some of the items that may be shown on this are not real.
Correct.
Okay, let's move on. I want the neighbor to have an opportunity to speak. And I have sworn you in the past. Just please
You
state
have,
your
yes.
name and address again.
Chris Sievernick, 38 Ocean View Drive, Southampton, 11968.
Okay, Chris.
A lot to unpack. But I want to start at the beginning because there's this discussion about.
You gotta stay by the mic, sir.
Oh, sorry, yes. What was disclosed to the ZBA board, and I would like to pass around the
Candace, do you
the
have?
response from my architect.
Does Candace have these?
You need to give it to Candace first.
Everybody can have a copy of it.
Two copies
Two
to
to
Candace.
Candace. I'm gonna give one of these to Carl, just so he can,
I have no idea what
neither do we. So here you go.
Is there enough there? Just pass it down.
Yeah, take one and you and I can
Yeah.
share this.
This is again that pyramid, alternative pyramid calculation?
All right.
Sharing?
No, I just said
Chris, I am going to set some time limits on
Okay,
this. We've
cool.
heard from you many
Cool.
times, and, you're wonderful in providing us with written. So
So-
let's try to keep our comments very short and to the point.
Short and factual?
Yes,
Okay.
we don't need to go through the whole history, because you've done that for us a number of times.
Number one, the use of the roof deck was never disclosed to the ZBA, and it was never in any plan to the ZBA. It was given to the building department, and the building department approved the plans. In September 24, you got the permit from the building department. And by that time, the roof and the railing, the glass railing, was already done. So you had always planned from the very beginning to use this roof as the 3rd floor that you were not allowed to build. Okay, I think the key issue.
What I passed around, I just want to dispute that. It says-
Carl, hold on. Let him finish, please, and then
Can I
we'll
finish?
you can respond, please. Just let him finish.
The key issue is
Here all night.
the violation of the pyramid law, and the drawing that you all have that I received from the building department, a survey that was ordered by either the builder or the owner, shows a pyramid violation of 11,800 cubic feet. So that has nothing to do with the square footage of the house. And so nothing has changed. All the issues are in my letter to you. And I think what needs to be resolved first is the egregious violation of the pyramid law, the 11,000 something cubic feet. Personally, I think the architectural feature can be redesigned to be not as monstrous. And secondly, I think the roof deck should be disallowed to be used as kind of an open-air party and entertainment deck. It's a roof, it was a roof in these drawings that are in front of you, and it has been changed into this entertainment area. So I would like to resolve the violation of the pyramid law. That's the most important issue to me and to my wife.
Okay. You talked before about some mitigation. what are you thinking?
Well, I'd have to speak. with
Yes,
the
no,
client.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But I just want to respond. These plans that I gave you are stamped, received by the Zoning Board of Appeals on July 26th of 2022.
They're very
And they show-
basic.
But it shows a roof deck. The statement that the roof deck was not disclosed to this board is not accurate.
I think the statement meant in its iteration now, what the roof deck looks now with the jacuzzi and the outdoor kitchen and the whole thing.
But you didn't need to come for us for that.
No,
No,
that's-
I know,
don't-
but you got a building permit, but I think when we were considering the allowance of the cubic cubic feet for the variance, we were not under the impression that this was gonna be a very active area, we.
But I don't think we can grant variances based on what they're gonna use it for.
Yeah,
That's-
but, so I,
Sometimes we look at, okay, what's the need? We look at the need.
see, where I disagree, Bob, and I think Kevin articulated this, is I wasn't sitting here then. So I don't know what I would have said at the time, but my sense is if I had seen the plans as they currently exist with all this potential activity on this roof deck, I would have asked myself and probably asked you and your clients, should I be thinking about this as third floor, which requires different issues to be addressed? And I did not have that ability because, one, I wasn't here, and two, the people who were here, I don't know if that's what they would have done. But that's where we're getting hung up.
This
But-
doesn't
My issue
qualify
is
as
this,
a
if you.
third.
But I have to say, in all fairness, that we have often had roof decks, come before us, and where we have turned them down, and you may have been involved, where they have pergolas, and they, violate.
pergola down.
Right, so, but people do actively use their roof decks.
Absolutely.
And so,
But that element of the roof deck needed relief.
that's right, that's what I'm
None of
saying.
these do.
I understand, and
that
these
you
have
objected
permits.
to. The only thing that needs relief is the safety rail.
Okay,
Carl, just let me be clear. So if you came to us and you just needed the relief for the pyramid for the railings,
If they had included the, sorry, not to cut- but I think I know where you're going. If they'd included the railings in the original calculation, we
correct?
wouldn't be here.
And then you
We
went
would
to
have
the.
guaranteed you that
Then
relief.
you would have went to the building department, and then you would have not come back to us. You would have been able to put your hot tub, you would have been able to put your kitchen, and we never would have heard it. That's my point. So we don't need to
unless it
address that.
qualified for additional pyramid relief,
But it
which.
doesn't. The
Which you
bathroom-
currently say, but I think what, Julie's saying with the bathroom and the blah, blah, it almost sounds like there's like a use of it as a third floor, and that's a concern. All right, so here, we gotta move on
there's no
this.
living
Past
space.
that, and I think what you have to consider is the relief is an 18 cubic foot encroachment for a glass rail.
That's exactly what I think.
That's required for safety.
That's required for
Yeah, look
safety.
at it, for that simple purpose.
That's it.
That is exactly how you have to do it.
And if we don't grant that, what would you do? You would have to move the
They'll pull them
railing
in
back.
3 feet.
You'd have to pull it back.
We moved back
At
3
the
feet.
expense of hundreds of thousands
Yeah,
of dollars.
it's not just the handrail moving it back, it's restructuring the
You
house.
go ahead, you can come up to the,
Yeah, you'd have to reframe the roof.
They're gonna be the same thing.
First of all, the cost would be devastating to me, so I hope that you won't do that to me, because I really did not do anything to you, purposely anyway. Joe took pictures today. The neighbors complained last time they were here, oh, they'll be on the roof, they could look down on us, we could be in the backyard, they're staring at us. If you'll please look at the pictures we provide you, or provided to you, you notice all we look down at is a pretty, and it's an older, worn-out, run-down house, the neighbor. If you'll look, you'll see all we look at is his roof. They don't see us, we don't see them. Because we had to move it back 100 feet off the high water mark, we're closer to the street. They're closer to the water. We're nowhere near them. We're on top of, in front of our house to the right is the roof of their home,
okay.
not their backyard.
And there's no lighting
Thank you.
out there, there's none of that other stuff that's gonna affect, right?
Heavy fir
Can't see
vegetation.
them.
Okay.
Do you have lighting out there?
No.
Do you have like
There's not overhead lighting.
dark sky
No,
issues?
No, no, no.
But sound.
There was no overhead lighting at all.
Okay.
Carl, I have no problem with it.
All right, just one more comment, and then we're gonna have to move on, because we've been.
May I say something?
All right, hold on. Yes, go ahead, Chris.
My comment is, Jeff, it's not correct what you're saying. Our master bedroom, one of our guest bedrooms, and our master bathroom is facing that house, and it's not facing one deck, it is actually facing the third floor deck, and it's facing the second floor deck, which is right in front of their master bedroom. So we have to close all our windows all the time, and they're right next to us.
Okay,
That is a fact.
okay. All right, thank you very much for your comments. Is there anybody on Zoom who wishes to be heard on this matter?
Susan? Susan, may I say something?
All right, we're moving along, Helen, so yes, go ahead.
Oh, I'd like to express my annoyance, I think that's the word, at the comments made by this builder when he used the word rundown house, describing our neighbor. That's not for him to, as part of the important things that he supposedly has to say to us. Nor does he need to tell us that by not giving him what he needs, it's a personally against him and what it means to him.
Okay,
And
thank you, Helen.
Getting what our job is, that's it.
Okay,
That's it.
thank you.
Can we go back to Susan? You started asking about mitigation. Carl, you were going to suggest perhaps?
I can't, I'd have to talk to.
Okay. So I'd be interested in hearing what you might be willing to consider.
Well, I think a couple of things. One, I think you need to show us, or what, don't turn it into an accounting nightmare, but I think, to move it, yeah. Put the record, demonstrate to the record that the cost of moving it is significant. That's one.
No, we need it in writing, sir. We need it in writing.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
need to
yeah.
be submitted in
We need an
writing.
estimate. Usually when we have something built and if we want it to be removed, we get an estimate of what the cost would be, just to flush out the record.
And then, to me, the second question, somebody here asked it, which is a question of lighting, electricity, sound, and other things that make it a more active, livable space, as opposed to just a place that people once in a while go up on the roof for.
But I
Because,
don't think that's before us, Kevin, in all fairness.
well, I mean,
I
if
think
they're
we're-
offering mitigation,
All right.
knowing what is present first is a conversation relating to the mitigation.
He doesn't even know if he's offering mitigation, what he's
Well,
going to
that's true.
discuss
Can't
with
sit
his
here and act as
client.
code enforcement either.
No, but I just want to be clear on this point, because I am where Kevin is. I would like to understand whether some mitigation is on offer, because it does relate to what you're going to submit to us by way of cost of the actual remediation to get you to compliance. And so maybe I'll say, oh, I can give this relief if you take down the speakers and do whatever it might be that you're going to offer. I do think they're related.
Okay, it could be a trade-off.
Susan, may I say something? Susan?
Okay.
One more little thing.
Okay.
And maybe it's not accurate today, but I'm looking at an ad, because you're talking about the monies that would be needed to remediate the situation, that I have an ad in front of me where they are asking 9 million.
All right, Helen, Ellen, I have to, let's move on. I think you made your points before.
Okay, thank you, Susan.
Okay, so, whose is this? That's this beauty.
This is mine.
That's this beauty.
mine.
It's Bob's.
Yeah, this is mine.
Bob's.
I call it Bob.
Carl. we need you.
This is mine. What do you want to hold it open? How do we want to, what do you want to do?
I can offer some mitigation now.
I don't know, then we,
What would it be?
We can submit.
All right, why don't you tell us, give us a
Tell us what it
tease
is
on
and put
what
in
the
writing.
mitigation might be, and then we're not gonna hold you totally to it, you can reconsider and you can submit,
We would remove all outdoor speakers.
and that's the only mitigation?
Well, I mean, I've had 2 minutes to discuss it.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's worth considering further.
Okay.
I mean, further mitigation.
Yeah,
be
okay.
clear.
Give it some, give some consideration.
And we, whatever it is, we want it binding and running with the property, so,
It's a condition of the variance.
right, I'm just saying, but,
It is,
full
that's what it
disclosure.
is, it goes with the plan.
And I'll just say, to be clear, speakers don't get me there, so.
I'll be clear.
By
I
way
don't
of
have a
guidance.
problem with speakers, just so we're clear.
So I can put them back in for you?
For me, you can put them in.
I don't think you put it back in. But we do want some
You wanna
sort of
hold it
a
open
cost
then?
estimate for the, the pushing back of the, because what's before us right now is the 18 cubic feet. And
Exactly.
so that's what we want to mitigation, what's the cost of that? And if the
We can
cost
submit
is,
that. Do you want to close the hearing?
It's gonna cost me hundreds of thousands of
or
dollars.
we just can't do, I know, but
I know, but the house is not, you gotta understand that a
Can't hear
rail,
you from there.
I don't.
a rail has to be mounted to a solid beam, we'll call it. Where it's mounted, the house was designed, if you look at the plan that you approved, it shows a rail in that spot. That's where it has to be mounted. For me to move it to another part of the roof, even 3 feet, there is no support, you just can't screw it into the roof, into a
but
piece
I
of
would,
plywood. Somebody's gonna get
appreciate
killed.
getting a detailed description of that with some estimates, because that
Not
will
saying-
go into, we may not require
not
it,
telling you to
but.
do it.
Happily, I'll happily get it for you, but I really, I'm gonna
You know
say
what
again,
we need.
I thought the ZBA was for pyramid relief.
It
If
is.
somebody would have told me I needed your permission to, I'm doing a house right now in the village, I have to go to the ARB for the color of the house, the shingles. If somebody would have told me that you act like the ARB or the building department, I certainly would have given it to you.
I
This
appreciate
didn't-
that.
This wasn't the haphazard, I'll build a house, now let's throw,
Okay.
the pieces were always what the
Okay.
pieces were. I was
Okay,
not told.
I
Appreciate what you're saying.
understand, we
I agree.
appreciate that, and if you can give us.
Highly frustrating, I apologize.
No, and I understand, we can be incredibly frustrated.
Want to hold it open?
Well, it's just a rail, and if code didn't require the rail, I wouldn't put up a rail.
Well, then you couldn't have a roof.
I understand, but you gave me a roof, and the rail's shown on the plan you approved, it's right there.
That's part of the issue I have. The building department already
Right
approved
there.
this.
And I
That's-
think you're overstepping your boundary personally, but I'm not an attorney.
The building department approved this, and they built it to spec.
With the glass rail?
Yes.
Okay, that's the problem I have.
Katie, do you have anything you want to comment on?
No, no. No.
No guidance on this? Okay.
Can I have one more last?
All right.
No,
this has to
no,
be-
no, no,
yeah,
no, no,
we really
no.
have
Let's
to-
be done. Come on, no.
All right, okay.
Let's, no. Please, please.
I don't even know what that means.
Come back again with some ideas as to what you could do and,
But we need the cost.
I can't afford to move the rail.
So what else would you be willing to do by way of mitigation that might make some of us more inclined to grant the variance? I can't negotiate it with you now.
no, sir, holding it open means that you would speak with Carl and the two of you would come up with a proposal and then you would come back at another date and you would make that proposal to us.
Second.
All right, let's,
Okay,
Carl, do you,
I'm going to adjourn it.
Yeah, let's just adjourn it.
We're going to adjourn to 11,
Can we get a quick date?
Candace.
There are no quick dates. 12/4.
It's already October.
We're crazed. 11/20 is gonna be
it's
nuts.
already built. It's not like you're waiting to build it, it's built.
You can't get the CO to use it.
Oh, that's true.
On 12/4,
Well, because
if I
then
do
we're
70 applications, you
either
already have 10.
up or down.
You already have-
Give him
you
an
have-
opportunity
you already
to
have three
argue it.
holdovers.
Maybe we close it and we'll submit
seven new
mitigation and
ones.
written comment?
Yeah, but then you're just rolling the dice.
You are rolling the dice.
We're always rolling the dice.
Sometimes you're rolling at a higher value craps table than others.
Yeah, so I would hold it
Well,
open.
what's the earliest date we could do, Candace?
It's really up to you. I mean, you don't want to do anything on 11/20 because you already have time.
I say
12/4.
12/4.
16th is closed?
Right now, 10/16, you want to come back 10/16?
We've got so many.
Back on 10/16.
Call them adjourning it to 10/16, okay?
And what big ones do we have?
Next-
I don't think you're, I don't, they're not listed here now. All right.
So,
very much. Second.
all right, so wait a second.
Wait,
Go
what is
ahead.
it?
We're going to make a
10:16.
motion. Yeah. We're going to adjourn to 10:16.
Okay. Who moved, who seconded?
Bob moved.
I
Did
moved.
somebody second?
Second.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Ms. Kane?
Aye.
Mr. Redmond? Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay, 10:16.
Okay.
Where Where are you?
Okay, we are.
I totally lost where they are.
Number 14. What? Oh, are we doing number 1 now?
Yes, Carl, we're gonna
That's
do
right.
Sagvine.
Number 1 on the agenda, Sagvine Properties LLC, 775 Middle Line Highway, Noyak, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-23-1-81.3. Applicant requests relief for the following sections of the Town Code for proposed subdivision on a parcel with a cell tower. 1, Section 330-6, General Regulations that references Section 330-11, Residence Districts Table of Dimensional Regulations for lot area from 200,000 square feet to 25,350 square feet, lot width from 200 feet to 168.15 feet, a front yard setback from 100 feet to 13 feet, a rear yard setback from 100 feet to 94 feet, a minimum side yard setback from 50 feet to 10 feet, and total side yards from 125 to 38 feet. In addition, applicant requests relief from Town Code Section 330-308G, cell tower site design standards for a distance to lot line being less than the height of the tower, 190 feet required, and any other relief necessary.
Board has jurisdiction.
This sounds like a lot, but I can break it down pretty easily.
Please.
This is a subdivision that's being requested by the Community Preservation Fund. The reason everything is drawn so strangely, and there's a letter from Jackie Fenwick, is because the town is trying to preserve as much as possible. If the planning board is considering this subdivision now, a condition of this subdivision is that the parcel with the cell tower on it will always remain a cell tower until it becomes unfeasible, and then the town has a right of first refusal to purchase it. It can never be used as a residential lot. The drawing that you're looking of, that odd lot that you see in front of you, was drawn by the town board as part of its preservation measure. We need relief from this board, but the town board has expressed its willingness to purchase this lot under these circumstances. And if you have any more questions, I can tell you, but I think Jackie's letter is in your file.
Yes, it is.
Yes. So if,
This is mine. I went to look at it, actually met some of the people working there. It's a large area. A lot of it is gravelled, unfortunately. The part that they're buying is gravelled. When you've cut out a section around the tower just for the use, and it looks like they've made it as small as they can in order to preserve as much property as they can. The one thing I had a question about, which I think Kevin may have, is the a variance on the distance to the lot line of being less than 190 feet, and that's because if the tower falls down, you want it to fall on your property. So this is a shorter distance, so if the tower falls down, it'll fall down on vacant, town-owned land, which will be your responsibility, or your client's responsibility to remove. And it's clearly not even close to another house. There is a house on the gravel road that, goes up to it, way far away. I don't have a problem with this. I did notice, though, Carl, that on the final survey, I think there's no signature of the surveyor. I just wanted to, but this is the final survey. Just check.
I've got one in his seal. Did you look at his seal?
Yeah, but it's supposed to sign it. I don't know. Anyhow, maybe he did it for the town. This is the thing for the town. Maybe that was why.
You don't have this signature?
I have it on mine.
Just make sure that it's there. Maybe I've missed it.
It's right in the seal.
I'm looking at this
You
survey.
don't have it either?
I have subdivision. Maybe I don't.
Well, I'll make sure you get this one.
Okay, yeah, just make sure we get the correct survey.
If I may, try not to throw a monkey wrench. It's not a monkey wrench, but because it's aquifer, I can't classify it as a type 2 action. It's an unlisted action. We gotta do secret on this. I initially was gonna suggest, because it's it's unlisted and coordinating with the planning board, but actually I think we could go to the planning board and I could have them do an unlisted, uncoordinated review.
I think that's the problem. We already had the first hearing with the planning board,
We did have a hearing on this too. I think we could do it like that, actually, just to save time.
so no secret here.
No, I think the planning board would be more comfortable doing it, and I could do it. like-
Well, I think you should do it. I don't
Yeah.
think it should be us.
I'd say, but I don't even think we really need
You don't need
to
to
coordinate.
So we wouldn't have to do a secret resolution or anything like that.
Because we have something before us.
No,
an
but we have to
application.
do secret. We need long form EAF.
I'll get it from Carl.
So we can't render a decision until we have it.
But the action before us is an unlisted action.
Yes, we've
It's a
gotta have
two-lot
it in the file.
subdivision in an aquifer protection overlay district.
Right, and now what I'm saying is, that because the planning board has a pending application, you could do an uncoordinated review in this case.
Is that true even for preservation measures?
Ah,
I think it is.
it's a type 2 action under secret, conservation opportunity subdivision. When you
But
think about
wait,
it.
but what we're considering is not the conservation part. We're considering the parcels that's gonna stay as a commercial.
Right, but those are area variances. What threw this initially for
Yeah.
the unlisted action was the fact that it's in the aquifer, but there is an exemption in the type 2 for conservation opportunity.
All right, so then you.
subdivision.
So we don't need
just-
We're okay
secret.
with a type 2 action here.
Okay,
Okay.
so cross off that list, okay.
Okay.
All right, I had no problem with it. I went to see it, I think it's, nice, and I love the fact that right of first refusal. If anything, if the tower no longer becomes functional and they want to sell the
That's
property.
the goal of the town.
Yeah, absolutely, and it would keep it all
They wanted to
contiguous.
keep the tower functional for obvious reasons too.
Yeah, and if it falls down, it's gonna fall on
vacant land.
town. Vacant land.
Do we have a referral report from the planning board? Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna do that and the secret at the same time.
All right, so we need a referral report from planning. Okay, is there any other questions from the board?
No.
There's nobody in the audience. Is there anybody online who wishes to be heard on 775 Middle Line Highway?
Nobody.
Me.
All right, go ahead.
Be online if you
The one
hear.
that signs are dated 6/24/25, that's what I have.
6/24/25, yep.
All right, so I have the signed one.
Okay, I don't have it. Okay, so I'm the lead on this, so I am going to say that we're going to hold this open for written comments until October 17th with a decision on 11/6.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Mastonia.
Aye.
Mr. Redmond.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
I
Okay.
missed it.
Thank you all.
It was me.
Thank you.
You're all over everything. See everything.
It's just beginning.
Okay, we're up to decisions.
Okay, number 15 on the agenda, application of Neriman Burbudovic, 215 East Montauk Highway, Hampton Bays, Suffolk County Tax Map number 900-207-5-2.11. On April 3rd, 2025, this board by decision number D025039 granted a area variance for Lot 1 of a proposed two-lot subdivision by letter dated September 19, 2025. Maggie J. Vavrica, P.E., and Sarah M.B. Churchill, P.E., are requesting that said decision be modified to reflect an updated subdivision map showing the proposed flag strip on the east side of the property.
So we got this letter, it basically said the Suffolk County Department of Health Services have asked them to shift the easement to the other side. There's a modification request. If the board's okay with it, there is a amended decision.
Okay, so are we going to vote on it at this point?
If everybody's okay with it, or?
Yeah.
Let's take a vote. Are you proposing it, John? Are you-
Bob has it.
Oh,
Or no,
is that what
Susan, you have it, right?
Wait, who has the decision?
Well, it's actually Helen, but you want me to read it? I'll read the decision.
Yeah, you can read it.
This is an amended decision, in the matter of Nerman Brukovich. How did you pronounce it?
Burbudovic.
Burbudovic.
I like that.
Sorry. Suffolk County Tax Map 900-207-5-2.1. On April 3rd, 2025, this board by decision number D025039 granted an area lot variance for Lot 1 of a proposed two-lot subdivision. By letter dated September 19th, 2025, agents for the applicant requested that the decision be modified to reflect an updated subdivision map showing the proposed flag strip moved from the east side of the property as recommended, to the east side of the property as recommended by the Suffolk County Department of Public Works. As the request for relief remains the same with no other changes, this board hereby amends ZBA decision number D025039 dated September 19th, 2025 to refer to the subdivision map prepared by Sarah Marina Bodie Churchill, P.A. of North Star Engineering, last revised September 17, 2025. All other provisions of D025039 remain in full force and effect.
Second.
Mr. Mastonia.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Redhand.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay, you've got the next one.
You gotta
Oh,
just-
first.
I have to call
Read
it.
it,
Number
and then-
16 on the agenda, the application of Barry Gordon, 153 Summerfield Lane, Watermill, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-104-2-21. On August 21, 2025, this board, by decision number D025099, granted variances for a proposed 55 by 110-foot sunken tennis court with the following condition, quote, "The installation and maintenance by the applicant and all successors in title of heavy vegetative screening on all four sides of the court, as shown on the Plot 1 sheet prepared by Charles W. Kuhn, R.A., received by this board on July 30th, 2025," end quote. By letter dated September 8, 2025, Charles W. Kuhn, R.A., is requesting that said decision be modified to refer to a plan sheet number SP1 that shows the vegetative screening to be installed only along the north and south property lines.
So this was a minor application that the board had. There was no public hearing on it. The application and the plot plan showed literally proposed screening on all four sides of it. I guess when the applicant got the decision, they didn't want it to be screened on all four sides. They didn't realize that that had been proposed. They have asked to only screen it on the two sides for the neighbors because one side overlooks a horse farm and the other side they can see from their house. So that's what's before the board.
Okay. So you want me to read the decision then?
You can read the proposed
Okay.
decision.
Amended decision in the matter of Barry Gordon, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-104-2-21. On August 21st, 2025, this board granted a minor side yard variance for a proposed 55 by 110 sunken tennis court. Agents for the applicant stated in the application that the court would be screened on all four sides and submitted a plot plan indicating such screening that was referenced in the decision. By letter received by this board July 30th, 2025, agents for the applicant asked that the screening be modified to be installed only along the north and south property lines since the court is adjacent to a horse farm on the east and the applicant's house and pool on the west. As amended, will not affect the screening necessary to mitigate the impacts to the neighbors and the privacy. ZBA decision number D025099 is hereby amended to modify the condition for screening to include the installation and maintenance by the applicant and all successors in title of heavy vegetative screening on the north and south property lines of the tennis court as shown on the Plot 1 sheet prepared by Charles W. Kuhn, registered architect, last revised September 18, 2025. All the provisions of D025099 remain in full force and effect.
Second.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Ms. Kane?
No.
Mr. Redpen?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
No.
Ms. Burgess?
Oh,
Chair votes no.
All right, so that motion failed.
Motion fails. Julie, Kevin, myself, and Helen.
Said no?
Yep.
No.
Okay.
So just to be prepared, the applicant may then send a letter asking you to reopen this so he can be heard on this. Because we never took any testimony, so that
Okay.
might follow.
Yeah.
That's fine.
okay, can we move on?
What happened?
Okay, what's next?
You want me to read mine? What do we got?
And decisions.
Julie, I think.
Okay.
Scalco.
This application is for property located at 47 Oneck Lane, West Hampton. Applicant requests variances for proposed additions to a pre-existing dwelling as discussed at the public hearings due to the pre-existing 3,250 cubic feet pyramid encroachment on the dwelling. The board was concerned about granting an additional 1,445 cubic feet of encroachment. In response, the applicant revised the plans to eliminate any new pyramid encroachment, and as modified, the board finds that the application passes the standards set forth in New York State town law and the town code. Therefore, this board grants relief from the following provisions of the town code. 1, for proposed additions to an existing dwelling on a non-conforming lot. 1, Town Code Section 330-6 as it relates to Town Code Section 330-11, Residence Districts Table of Dimensional Regulations for a principal rear yard setback of 50.8 feet where 60 feet is required, and for a total lot coverage of 21.5% where a maximum of 20% is permitted. And 2, Town Code Section 330-1 115C, continuance for a principal front yard setback of 25.9 feet where 29.8 feet is existing, and a principal total side yard of 16.4 feet where 26.4 feet is existing. And 2, for the proposed front covered porch, Town Code Section 330-115C, for a principal front yard setback of 25.5 feet where 29.8 feet is existing, as shown on the survey prepared by Gary Benz, RA, last dated August 13, 2025, and the floor plans and elevations prepared by John Van Velsor, RA, last dated July 24, 2025. The grant of the foregoing relief is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant has already acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of the subject premises.
Second.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Redpen.
No.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
No,
Okay, chair votes aye.
Martin Finkel and Juliet Jalema is the next one.
Okay, that's me. All right, can you spell those names, pronounce those names for me, please?
Finkel.
And Juliet,
I'm saying Jalema, I have no idea what
all
it
right.
actually
I
is.
have an application in their names for Suffolk County Tax Map 900-42-2-11. This application is for property located at 46 Peconic Bay Avenue, North Sea. Applicant requests a minor variance for the location of a proposed pool deck on a lot burdened by wetlands with a wetlands permit so ordered by the Supreme Court. As the applicant has modified the plans to eliminate the variance for the location of the proposed pool equipment, this board finds that the application passes the standards set forth in New York State Town Law and Town Code. Therefore, this board grants relief from the Town Code, Section 330-115D5, continuance for an accessory side yard setback of 7.8 feet where 10 feet is permitted for a proposed pool deck on a non-conforming lot as shown on the survey prepared by Jeffrey W. Hatterer, LS, last dated July 25th, 2025. Granted, this relief is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant has already acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of subject premises.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. Redpath.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
aye,
Chair votes aye. Okay, I have a second one on Matthew and Yazamin Salas, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-67-1-3.3. This application is for property located at 588 Hayground Road, Watermill. Applicants seek variances for a proposed pool house, outdoor shower, and outdoor kitchen on an unusually shaped lot burdened by 2 front yards and heavily screened by vegetation. This application passes the standards set forth in New York State Town Law and Town Code. Therefore, this board grants relief from the following provisions of the Town Code for a proposed pool house with outdoor shower and a proposed outdoor kitchen. 1, Town Code Section 330-6 General Regulations that references Town Code Section 330-11 Resident Districts Table of Dimensional Regulations for accessory front lot line setbacks of 30.2 feet where 90 feet is required. And 2, Town Code Section 330-76D, placement of accessory building structures and uses in all districts, and Town Code Section 330-83C, yards, to allow the pool house with outdoor shower and outdoor kitchen to be located within the required front yard for the principal building, as shown on the site plan last dated June 3rd, 2025, and the floor plans and elevations dated January 29th, 2024, all prepared by Jason Ormond, R.A. This grant of the foregoing relief is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant has already acquired and may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of subject premises, including the maintenance of the existing vegetation by the applicants and all successors and interests.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia. Mr. Redpath.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
aye,
Chair votes aye.
Okay, I have a decision in the application of Aurelio Galvis and Yasmin Rojas. This application is Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-266-1-14. This application is for property located at 161 Wakeman Road, Hampton Bays. Applicants request variances to convert an existing detached garage into an accessory apartment. The board finds that this application passes the standards set forth in New York State Town Law and the Town Code. Therefore, this board grants relief from the following provisions of the Town Code, Section 330-11.2, special standards for a proposed accessory apartment on a non-conforming lot. 1, for a lot area of 20,449 square feet where a minimum of 30,000 square feet is required. 2, a lot width of 75.1 feet where 84 feet is required, 70% of 120 feet. And 3, an accessory side yard setback of 10.2 feet where 14 feet is required, 70% of 20 feet. And an accessory rear yard setback of 13 feet where 14 feet, 70% of 20 feet for the existing detached garage, as shown on the survey prepared by Jason D. Leadingham, L.S., last revised July 15, 2025, and the floor plans and elevations of the accessory apartment prepared by Sean F. Leonard, R.A., last dated July 8, 2025. The grant of the foregoing relief is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant has already acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of the subject premises, including that the applicant and all successors in interest maintain the existing vegetation, planting, screening, the proposed apartment.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Mastroni.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Redhead.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Julie.
Okay, Julie, you're-
Okay. Stonehenge Investment, Suffolk County Town Map 900-148-2-30. This application is for property located at 98 Royal Avenue, Flanders. Applicant requests variances to legalize an existing detached garage that was constructed without a permit approximately 30 years ago. While this board does not condone construction done without approvals, it does find that the application passes the standards set forth in New York State Town Law and the Town Code. Therefore, this board grants relief from the following provisions of the Town Code to legalize an existing detached garage on a non-conforming lot. 1, Town Code Section 330-6, general regulations that reference Town Code Section 330-11, residence district tables of dimensional regulations for an accessory side yard setback of 7.7 feet where 8 feet is required. And 2, Town Code Section 330-84D, pyramid law for a sky plane encroachment to the south in the amount of 52.4 cubic feet, as shown on the survey prepared by Angelo Joseph Cecere, R.A., last revised March 10, 2025, and the floor elevations and pyramid diagrams prepared by Joseph A. Sassone, R.A., dated April 30, 2025. The granting of this relief is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant has already acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of the subject premises, including 1, the removal of the shed in the southeast corner of the property prior to the issuance of any certificate for the garage, and 2, that if the garage is ever to be demolished, any replacement must be constructed in a conforming location or new variances must be sought.
Second.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Mastroni.
Aye.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Redhead.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Okay, me.
You go,
This is
Bob.
for Kevin and Laura Martin, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-354-4-41.1. This application is for property located at 8 Summit Boulevard, West Hampton. Applicant seeks variances for a proposed addition to a pre-existing dwelling that includes a new garage, mudroom, and sunroom. This application passes the standards that set forth the New York State Town and Law and Town Code. Therefore, this board grants relief from the following provisions of Town Code for proposed addition. 1, Town Code 330-6, that references 330-11, for a principal minimum side yard setback of 17 feet, 8 1/4 inches where 20 feet is required, and 2, Town Code Section 330-115C, for a principal front yard setback of 21 1/4 feet where 27 feet 4 1/2 inches is existent, as shown in the survey prepared by Island-Wide Land Surveyors, last dated November 13, 2024, and a site plan and floor plan prepared by Philip Fradinello, registered architect, last dated May 5, 2025. The grant of the foregoing relief is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant has already acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of the subject premises.
Second.
Mr. Mastroni.
Aye.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Redhead.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay, John, you've got the last one.
All right, I have a decision for Jared
Carino, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-362-4-28. This application is for property located at 28 Bonita Road, East Quogue. Applicant seeks variance for a small addition for storage to a pre-existing dwelling with a balcony above on a lot located in a flood zone and burdened by wetlands and 2 front yards. Applicant also seeks variances from the flood damage prevention provisions of the town code to allow both the sunroom and the basement to remain at elevation 8, where a design flood elevation of 10 is required. This board finds that since the improvements on the lot have been there since the prior to the zoning, and with appropriate conditions, this applicant passes the standards set forth in New York State town law and the town code. Therefore, this board grants relief from the following provisions of the town code for proposed addition and to maintain a basement in a special flood hazard area, town code 330-115C. Continuance for the front yard setback of 23.6 feet, where 29 feet is existing, and town code Chapter 169, flood damage prevention, undergoing a substantial improvement to a flood hazard area, Section 15, standards for all structure, to have a basement indwelling, and relief from Section 16, requirements for residential structures to leave the sunroom floor level at elevation 8 that is below the required design flood elevation of 10. This variances are shown, the survey prepared by Kenneth M. Warchuk, LS, last dated November 19, 2024, and the elevation pyramid diagram prepared by Alexander J. Kahn, R.A., dated July 16, 2025. This board notes that the formation plans show that reduction in the pyramid encroachment from what was previously granted in 2023, and the applicant agrees that the plans reflect that no further encroachments will be constructed should this dwelling ever be demolished. Any new building must comply with all town code provisions, or the property owner must make a new application to the board.
Second.
No, it's not done
No,
yet.
not done yet. The granting of this relief is subject to such
Here we
other
go.
conditions and permits as applicant has already
I was ready.
acquired or any otherwise have to acquire for a final approval of the subject premises, including securing a variance from the Department of State prior to the issuance of any certificate to the town, the removal of any electricity isolation foam in the vents and any other objects that may obstruct flood water from the properly entering and exiting the basement. That the basement space remain unfinished and non-habitable with compliant flood vents installed as required by the building department. And the filing of a hold harmless with the Suffolk County Clerk's Office with a copy of the recorded document in Suffolk County recording the endorsement page to be submitted to the building department.
Mr. Redpath.
Aye.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Mastroni.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
No.
And Ms. Burgess.
No,
Chair votes aye.
Motion to close.
Second.
Third, fourth.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.
Can't, I had a,
All right, wait. Turn off your...
And if anybody cares, the Yankees are up 4-0.
Well, nothing yet.